Who were those people, chat? I don't know, but I will find. Shiraizo, thank you for the follow. Welcome. Deontay, thank you for the 46. Leo Vault, welcome to the stream. Thank you for the follow. And thank you to the people that followed while I was offline. You're actually coming in close to 10,000, chat. I only need 150 more of you guys to manifest out of nowhere. If you guys could like start your cult rituals and start like summoning each other, that'd be great. Okay. Bot accounts? Yeah, sure, bot accounts. The tweet is live. Do me a favor, go give it some love. Let me grab you guys today's sauce. And hello, Marcus. Hope everyone is happy with your level 120s. Yeah, I mean, it's the good part about having a lotto during 2 times success is like, boom, right? Like you just get to level a ton of stuff. I'll send smoke signals. Thank you, I appreciate it. Draw crop signals. Okay, that I'm unsure will have the intended effect. You may just cause some calamity. But okay. I believe we are good to go, chat. Let's get this party started. Rongo Miniado. That's going to be what we're talking about today, in fact. Here is today's artwork. And here is today's artwork. For those of you guys on the YouTube side. Hello, Anubis. Hello, Enders. Hold on, chat. Nasty congestion again. Oh, God. Yeah, there we go. Now I can breathe again. I'll allow myself not to feel weird with this piece. It's amazing. Breathing is nice. It is. I do enjoy breathing from time to time. Chat, I got all my boxes open. Tomorrow is the final day for that, by the way, for any of you guys that are, you know, kicking the can down the road on JP. I know we've all been pretty busy because of the holidays, so I totally understand if people haven't gotten it done yet. Just again, you have till the end of tomorrow to be able to open them. The one thing I still have is I still have to do whatchamacallit, my like the fourth material that's in the boxes themselves. Like I have to convert that to QP, so I have to find like things that I can spend QP on my JP account, which is not easy because like I have a ton of those things. So like I'd have to guesstimate, but I'm sure I have like well over 500 million still. So it's not going to be the easiest thing. Is tasteful on the edge of lewd, but is okay. Yes. All the Lolter art I've been seeing, it must be the year. I can feel it. I mean, I know most. Interestingly enough, most Lolter art is commissioned by one dude, who must have very deep pockets to be able to commission it all. But occasionally we do get some pieces that are actually just drawn by the artist. Like I think this one's just drawn by Shiki, but it is what it is. And I think Lolter is not unpopular so much as like because Lolter has really never had her time in the sun. I don't think she's nearly as emphasized by a lot of the community, and so I think that's kind of the issue that we run into. That's weird. Why did that not work? That should not have lowballed that bad. But oh well. Actually do it like this. Just card my way to it. Hello, Serraro. I just got my first Lartrea figure. Nice. It's amazing she's in full armor on a giant 20-inch throne. Ah, you got the Camelot one, I assume. So interestingly enough, I didn't get that one. And the only reason I didn't, and don't feel bad about your choice, right? Like, it's still a fantastic figure. But the only reason I didn't get that one is because I didn't want to pay, like, what I assumed to be, like, an extra $100 for the throne itself. I'm like, I just wanted, like, a nice statue of Lartoria. I didn't need, like, the actual throne. So, like, a lot of the times when these statues are, like, all out and they come with, like, extra stuff and they make you pay for that extra stuff to justify it, I don't like it. Like, usually I just want the actual character. So I'm very picky with, like, which statues I buy most of the time. Did Lalter even have any fight or part in FGO? Yeah, Lalter has appeared in a couple of singularities, but she's never been, like, the main involvement type person. All right, if I have to, if these two don't actually kill, okay, there we go. I like Lalter, and that's what matters. Yep. Space flee from nowhere. I see. Yeah, interestingly enough, like, her London appearance is actually the most significant and interesting appearance out of all of them. And that one's never really been touched on since. What's up, Alexandre? Hello, Thomas. Hello, Dustin. Bless. Thank you for the resub. Thank you for the 19. It's honestly amazing you have over 4 units scaled to 120 now. I have over 4 units scaled to 120 on JP. So, like, that is amazing. I never thought my JP account would get to that point. A lot of that is because I just finally, like, pulled out the wallet for some of the saber faces on JP. But, yeah, I didn't think that I would have the resources to do it, even if I, like, had all the NP copies. So it's kind of awesome. Lalter never started stuff in FGO. Maybe she should. Maybe, right? That'd be one way of thinking about it. Saving for either Charlie or NP2 Gil. Nice. Good roll for Hephaestion. I will probably roll for a token copy. She's a very nice unit, but I do agree with people saying, like, hey, that banner is shared with Gray. And I think that's kind of an issue. It's not the end of the world, and, like, sorry, not, I said Gray, Reigns. I've got Gray on the mind. Like, I understand, like, you can get NP2 of Reigns that it's not the end of the world, but, like, it's also not the best NP2 out there. So it is what it is, and I can understand people not wanting to, like, roll for that if they already have her. So, like, in that regard, I don't know. I'll just say that, like, I understand people, and I wish there was a better pairing, but unfortunately they pair the second banner up different because they need to keep Estrella on the banner, since this was actually Estrella's original origin. Someone's excited to talk about a Saberface? Yep. Oh, you're talking about Lalter and her appearance in the tower event? Yeah, it's really good. I actually really like that. I think a lot of people forget that scene in Garden of Sinners. Because it's just awesome. I still remember seeing artwork of it, and I probably still have it somewhere deep in the archives. Hephaestion is someone's idea of hot? Oh, I don't think Hephaestion's unhot. I think Hephaestion is hot. I just think that, like, at the end of the day, she's a permanent 4-star. So I expect the reaction to her will be very similar to Zenobia, where people will want her, people will find her attractive, some people will roll, other people will just abstain. I mean, it's just going to come down to an individual thing. Hello, Fenreef. Nasu better be cooking that wild hunt lore. I hope he is. Like, I think this is where, like, if I've sounded pessimistic about like the future of FGO, a lot of my pessimism is being driven by two things. One is, and I'm not completely pessimistic. I still have hope for the game. I don't think I'd be playing it if I didn't. But like, I think like some of that pessimism comes from like the devs and kind of their slow pacing and how they're kind of dropping the ball in certain areas. And I think the other way happens to be that, like, the word I'm looking for here, I think it's like the direction Nasu is taking the story from everything I can tell. I know a lot of people are super hyped for the story in the future. I've been less than enthusiastic for like some of the avenues he's gone down, and I kind of want to see the game go in a different direction at this point. I've talked privately with Trubs about that on numerous occasions, and I know like some of that is a me issue. So it's like I try not to let that impact too much, but like there are definitely some things that I disagree with, like the way he came down on the sides of certain things. Want to get both Ark and Summer Scotty. I can't afford to roll anything in between. Yeah, you definitely got to be saving now at this point. MLB Black Grail today, thanks to a paid single. Nice. Okay, so it looks like there's only 4 missions left, and 2 of them are currently available. Ba-ba-ba-da. Wait. This is 3 and 6? I don't know if this is the same numbers. Six is gold drop? Right, that's why I'm confused. So let me go double check. Because it looks like it'd be a red item and a gold item, and I'm just like, I feel like I've already done those. Thanks for the case files event guide. I gotta post it. I haven't posted anything to YouTube. I was going to post one of the videos today, and I thought to myself, I'm like, I can just double up on a future day. I don't care if I'm like delayed a day for getting something out on YouTube. The big issue that I had is like, I needed to get my Lotto boxes done. I'm like, I'm not gonna like risk the Lotto boxes. So I kind of like sat there at work doing that all today, and that's how I was able to get the last like 150 of them done. And I do want to say this. I hope they never, ever, 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 ever do that again. And what I mean when I say that is, they had the rotating Nemos as you open boxes, and it doubled the amount of time it took you to open boxes. So I'm just like, yeah, I don't want to see that ever again. That was like, I understand that they did it for a cool, like, new gimmick, but it's like, nah. Like, if the whole point is, like basically to provide, like, some nuance and, like, make it less of a, like, dead thing, I'm like, that's cool and all, but you got to remember that you put quality of life in the game to reduce the amount of time it takes people to open boxes. So whatever thing you're going to do to make it like more variant cannot add to the amount of time. Admit it, you didn't want to deal with the YouTube editor? No, it straight up had to do with my boxes. What's the smallest stack of embers you currently have in your mailbox? On JP? JP, it's probably an 11 stack. Because, like, my JP account, as you guys can see, is not fully stacked. And this is because I was just actively leveling Squirtorian to 120. So that was my new Saber face chat. After the 10 wasn't that bad? No, it was still pretty bad. It was still really bad with how long it actually took. Because, Chad, it wasn't like, oh, they just switched each box. It was every single 100 spin had the opportunity to switch Nemos. And that was kind of the issue with it. Also, if you had any sort of connection issue, it would stop and try to connect you to the game to load the next Nemo. And I'm like... like, I don't care, right? So to me, I'm like, it got old really quick. I understand what they tried to do, and they honestly, they could have left it rotating for maybe the first 10. After that, it should have just not. It just became an annoyance. Okay, so the guide, I think, is telling me to go to Fuyuki, but let me double check here. It wants me to do chord 0. No. Interesting. That means that I must have actually defeated a king servant. Wait. Does King Protea count as a king servant? Hold on. I don't remember if King Protea actually has sovereign. She does not. So somehow I got another one. They don't show up for some reason? Wait, what do you mean they don't show up for some reason? You mean like the panel missions? They do. Like unless you're saying this particular round is bugged. Wait, that's tomorrow? How do we already know tomorrow's? Can we see them? Oh yeah! Okay, I guess we can. Or can we? No, there's no description here, so it must be a data mine thing. That's wild if that's the case. Yeah, it looks like I need red and gold then. That's still really weird. That's still really weird. I don't know how I didn't get one of the prior ones done. If that's the case... Mere training ground. Ooh, it's caster training grounds. Do I want to spend the 40 AP on this? These are questions I ask myself. I guess, like, not the end of the world. Actually, hold on. I don't know that you guys really got to see Nemo in action. But let me see if I can show him off. And then, just to be on the safe side, I'm going to throw Lily in the back line. Because Lily counts for 2 of the other missions. Of course, Vlad. Hello, Robo. Uh... Go with him. And yeah, that should be fine. Lily tomorrow too. Yeah, that's why I put her in. It's just like, because now at this point I'm confused as to like how I somehow didn't do a day 4 mission. So I'm just like throwing stuff in and going. Okay. Go Nemo go. And this is only 2 enemies too. I'm kind of surprised you didn't roll for MP5 Salter given how rare of an opportunity this rate up is. I'm a patient man. I'm a very patient man. The fact that I just rolled an MP5 is kind of the reason why. I have a real weird relationship with my JP account. Where I don't know how I feel about it at times, and basically, like, I go back and forth between, like, I'll always spend money on my NA, but my JP, I'm like, I don't want to spend money if I don't have to. And so, like, I go back and forth between being like, okay, that's enough for now, and then being like, well, I haven't spent money in a long time, so it's okay if I spend some money. And then, like, there's also stuff where it's like, I don't feel like the devs are doing a good job right now, and I don't really want to reward them by giving them money. I'm not going to say that necessarily factored in this time around, but it has before. Oh, that was the wrong person, but okay. Hello, Rata. I don't know what I would do without fan content. Same. Yeah, exactly, Dustin. It'd be nice will remake London in part 3 like he remade Okeanos and Atlantis. I mean, I've said this before that, like, I would actually like to see them, like, go to the clock tower and such. I feel like that would actually be a really good thing. Alright. That's gotta count as a gold-colored item. Like, that's gotta count. If that doesn't count, I don't know. Okay, yeah, it did complete 6. So the only one it hasn't completed is the red item. Okay. We're gonna go do the 20 AP training grounds, because even though I have never run the caster variant, this should have really good rate of return for red gems. Especially for decent, like, AP expenditure. Wait, why am I using my own Castoria here? Hold on. This is a trap. Kufu, get in here. And then that'll probably allow me to... I think it was Vlad is who I was working on. I'm working on Vlad because getting Vlad's append will actually be really, really nice for him. So he needs to get to Bond 6. And I was noticing that today, there's actually like several units that I really need to get to Bond 6 on JP. Because they're just like NP1. Oh man, I am never going to get used to that. Did you guys see that? I am never going to get used to that being red. It's red because it's a second upgrade. But it's like, oh. Looks like I could actually replace MASH here too, so... Can I fit a 3-star? Yes. Sniping bones at 4 AP. Apparently, like, bones and chains didn't count or something. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Bones do count. Chains don't. I don't know. It's weird to me. Okay. We are going to sit on the other. Chains are orange. Yeah, I don't know. Have we ever had an orange item? Probably about 1.5 weeks until the Samurai Remnant collab. Yeah. I'll be curious to see what they're going to do with it. If it's just going to be an actual, like shilling of the game, or if it's going to have, like, more to it. Like, they're actually going to tie it in with FGO story. I think that'll be intriguing. Oh, no. Wait, does this... Doesn't have anything. Crud. He's probably screwed here. What we're gonna do then instead is we're just gonna go ahead and use the command seal. Because he should be able to get enough refund, either full refund here or not. That means that Shufu alone is not enough. Or I just need to start him out with a better CE. Maybe they can expand on the later DLCs. Maybe. I mean, I suspect that one of the DLCs coming will probably be like FGO stuff coming into Samurai Remnant. And then we're going to find out that it was just actually a lie and there has been a collab planned the entire time. Right? Oh, and P-Game, thank you. Yes, I did forget that. That is the reason why this wasn't working. I was like, man. It's danger levels of NP upgrade? Probably. Yeah, I don't know why, like, in my head, Shufu doesn't have that. And the reason why is I think, like, I ascribe the NP gain support to Asclepius and Paracelsus, who both have it. So it's like, it's just a weird thing to me to think that, yes, she also has it too. I still didn't get it. Are you kidding me? Who got buffed for New Year's on JP? Buff? Buff. Yeah. Yeah. That's a good one. Buffs don't exist in this game, chat. Yep, there you go. The NP game. Okay. The Muramasa buff that is Yamada. Oh yeah. That's it. Who got animation updates though? Yeah, that's another one, right? Like we're gonna get the animation updates just as soon as we get the delayed upgrades. Because surely they wouldn't do this to us again, chat. Martin, thank you for the 11 months. Apparently my bank card exploded, but I fixed it now. Haven't checked in for a while. Hope you're well. I am well. And don't worry about it. It's all good, my man. Oh, this is wave 2 out of 3. Why do I keep popping that? Well, I hope he refunds enough. Don't forget the coin fix. Oh no, chat. Surely the coin fix is coming after the Bond 20. Everything is working as intended? Yes, from their perspective, right? Saving grails for Shufu. Nice, Otaku. Yeah, that works a little bit better. Suddenly I pop Shufu's first skill there, and then I don't have to use command seals. Amazing. Amazing gameplay. Pro streamer here. That one I feel bad about. That's like one of the worst ones I've had in a while. How would you compare Nemo and Heavy Cat? Nemo is certainly more refund based. Happy Cat just has way more charge in her kit. She's got 80%, so it's like it's natural that it's going to be a thing. So in that regard, I think Habitrot's going to be someone that's just going to be able to handle odd structure nodes better. But he's no slouch at it, and his damage is actually slightly higher than Habitrot's. So he's good. Like, you're not going to hear me deny that. And I think they kind of had to make him better, at least in terms of damage, when you consider the fact that Habitrot is a permanent welfare, right? He will be eventually, but not for a while at least. When's the first Evocation Festival start? Oh, not this year, Onane. It's not till next year. Nemo's anti-evil, yes. But Edward, thank you for the follow. That's in game rolling in P6. Oh, you right. How did I miss that? All right, thankfully, the game saw fit to finally give me a red item. Okay, so we just have tomorrow's left. Which is pretty hilarious because based off of this, we can see that it's okay, chat. I gotta say this. Okay, this chat. You've all seen this image. Okay? You've all seen this image. Okay? So, I want you guys to understand that this and this are the exact same energy. The exact same energy. Okay? Like, it's wild to me. I just noticed that. I have not stared at that until this very moment. Earn, thank you for the 30. How you doing? Smug Habby Cat? Yes. But yeah, so like, it's pretty clear that this is Arturia Berserker. I am somewhat unsure as to who this is. It's someone with pink hair, unless it's supposed to be Nock. It's like gonna be the two of, yeah, okay, so it is Mabe. So it is the two of them fighting then. I was gonna say. But yeah, I find that pretty funny, and then you've got like pensive Oberon back in here, like just sweating it up. And everybody else like cheering it on. Oh, I see. It looks like they're like riding each other or something. I don't know. We'll be able to see when the final one is up. The LB16, but better, yes. I really wish they would stop wanking LB6 already. They're gonna wank it until you can't stand it anymore. Until they actually start getting complaints, I think they will keep running it because they know how popular those units are. So it's like, it's gonna take it basically until the popularity of those units dies down. And then, I hate to say this, but I think the devs will freak out. Because I think the devs have been writing that one trick for like so long now that they're kind of like concerned. When the money stops rolling in, yeah. I'm all for 5 more years of Bageko content, Cad. Sorry. No, that's fine. You can be okay with that, Residente, but the rest of the community will get pissed. Like, I do know that. There are plenty of Morgan, like, again, LB6 is popular for a reason. But there are going to be people that are just going to be like, yo, I just don't care anymore. And I think it's going to be when that finally sets in, when they finally realize that they're actually losing people over it, that I think that's where the devs will begin to freak out. Easy break glass option, yeah. Let's just wait for the LB7 year. It's coming. Sure. Yeah, the LB7 year. Chat. LB7 has come and gone. Ordeal Call has happened. LB6 is still the most popular. I think they know that, and I think that's why they ride that pine. It's just a sheer issue of, like, they have nothing really better to do, right? Like, it's difficult when they know that one singularity is more popular than the others. Paper Moon was just a quick nod to Sakura fans. Sakura fans have been eating pretty good lately, actually, I would say. Certainly a lot better than the Rin fans. Yeah, sure, Residente. They got scared about LB6 Christmas. I mean, I'm sure not every Japanese fan is blessed, but, like, yeah, I'm not going to be surprised to see that there's LB6 fatigue setting in. Like, I just can easily see that being a thing. Okay, so the only thing I need is a chaotic evil servant. Chat, anyone know where there is one? In the meantime, I'm going to go run Avalon LaFay. Just get the AP ticking. Leon, Fuyuki. Wait, is there actually one in Fuyuki? Run Drake and Okiano. She hits 2 traits, I think. Better than if you're an FGO original fan. I think 2 units is what any unique is capped at. Wait, what do you mean? Like... You mean like the original Fate Stay Night crew? Because, you know, obviously Arturia violates that, but I mean, like, even Ku, who has multiple forms at this point. He's basically got, what, 4 now? No, I mean, 5, I guess, if you include Satanta. I mean, you got multiple? Yeah, I mean, like, I would, for argument's sake, lump Muramasa in there, even though he's strictly speaking not just Emiya, right? Like, there's a lot more going on there than just Emiya. But we can call him a Shiro face. Sorry about that. And he has an ultra still? Yeah. He's better, Emiya. Which sucks. Really wanted more about the American servants. Yeah, I think I would personally like to see them revisit so many of the singularities in, like, more detail. But I also understand that will just become a, like, boring rehash for a lot of people. But I cannot help but, like, think about some of the, like, missed opportunities they've had. Like, in particular, the one that just really stands out to me is Goddardamarum. The fact that in LB2 you get there and, like, Ragnarok has already happened, and so you just don't get to see any of the, like, Norse gods. I feel like we missed out so much there because of that. Like, I liked LB2's story, but that was something that I always was like, man, I wish we had gotten to see that. Just because I thought it would be cool. At this point, do you think we'll see Sita as a summonable servant? At this point, no. It's possible. Like, you know, people will be like, oh, but the lore says that they can't. I'm like, yeah, they can easily write a story to make it so. I don't know, right? Chat says Lyon. Yep, panel target. Go. You get Stalker Napoleon story instead? Yeah. All of them would have been great as servants. Yeah, I mean, like, I know the logic at least behind, like, the America singularity, and, like, you know, you start thinking about U.S. presidents, which are going to be a majority of, like, American potential servants, right? Like, not every single one, but, like, and I think that's kind of, like, where they screwed up, is they made Edison all of them. But I think it's also very easy to just go, like, okay, yeah, but that's just Edison in that particular form. And instead just, like, turn around and go, like, okay, but here is, like, the actual U.S. president. Steamboat Willie servant? That would be hilarious. Since Odin is also Wild Hunt. Yeah. Yeah, LB6 has a little bit of a tease for that. And I wish it would do more. And logic is bad. Oh, I know. I just, like, I understand what they were trying to do. I think they shouldn't let that basically dictate, like, all potential servants in America for them. And it's not all, right? Like, presidents wouldn't be every potential servant. It would just be a good chunk of them. With Toon Force magic? I see. Daniel Boone? Yeah. There are plenty of, like, American, like, folk tales and stuff like that that you could easily, like, do people for. It's just, I don't know if they care. And so we'll see, right? Do I think Solomon will ever be summonable? At least not until the end of part 2. Like the actual end of Cosmos and the Lost Belt. Okay, so it looks like that's all I needed to do. And we're now set up on NA. Means I need to go do some runs. I love people acting like Nasu doesn't hate America. I don't think Nasu actually hates America. Abraham Lincoln needs to be an assassin. He was a vampire hunter? Yeah, exactly. Like, I'll say this. I don't think Nasu hates America, but I do think Nasu hates the concept of his work being translated into other mediums. At least to the extent of, like, it's a whole lot of work and he wants to make sure it's done right. And so he's very controlling of it. But I don't think he hates it. Nasu hates South America? Maybe. That one might be true. Edgar Allan Poe, Berserker. I mean, naturally, chat, like, I'm just gonna go ahead and say this. No matter who they put in, you want to put a Civil War general in, you want to put Edgar Allan Poe, you want to put, like, I don't know, anyone else. Like, someone's gonna come out and be like, oh, like, especially with today's political climate, they're gonna be like, oh, they were, like, a former slave owner or a racist or something like that. And I'm just gonna be like, I don't care. So at least in that regard, kind of staying away from, like, American servants, I'm A-okay, because it doesn't let our stupid, like, politics get dragged into it. Who doesn't hate the English language? It's nonsensical. I say this as a native speaker. Yeah, but I bet you're not even that good at it. If you're a native English speaker, you know how not good at English you are. With the recent localization drama, he's only getting justified. Yeah, okay, so chat, can someone tell me, like, what actually, like, kicked off all of that drama? Because, like, I've seen various things. Like, apparently the big one that I saw was, I guess they quote-unquote fixed the manga for, Ancient Magus Bride. But, like, I don't know if that's, like, what started it. I just want to see his interpretations of our insane historical figures. Understandable. Have a nice... Thank you, Neo. Ancient Magus Bride using AI to translate to English. Yeah. I mean, like, I heard that part of the issue with that, too, was that, like, there was, like, a bunch of, like, political correctness or something. I don't know if that was the Ancient Magus Bride or a different one. But I guess, like, I think the thing that I saw was, like, in one of the mangas, someone had localized it to, like, say that the person was, like, doing something to fight the patriarchy or some bullshit. And it was, like, not actually at all what was, like, the message that was being said. Dragon Maid? Okay. Yeah, like, I know Asmon's been on this kick, but, like, I haven't watched any of it. And, like, I'm gonna say this, chat. Any stance that is all localizers are bad is wrong. Hear me out on this, okay? That being said, there are a ton of bad localizers. Like, and it's, to me, it's important to not, like carpet bomb the whole thing and like try to say that every localizer is bad. It's just important to point out the bad ones. Because, and I'm going to give you guys an example of a good localizer. Look no further than, and you guys will know this immediately when I say this. If any of you play Final Fantasy XIV, Koji Fox. Koji Fox is a localizer, and he's a damn good localizer. Everybody loves Koji Fox. So, that's an example of, like, localization done right. Localization done right only changes things that, like, are necessary to be changed because, like, the culture of that area would not understand. Could not understand the, what probably amounts to pop culture reference of another area. So, that's where, like, Koji Fox will go in there and say, like, oh, is this a joke about a Japanese celebrity? Okay, well, I'm going to change this to a joke about a, like, you know, Hollywood celebrity over here in America or something like that. That's really all it is. Like, localization done right is hilarious and awesome and, like, unnoticeable, really. Localization done wrong is immediately apparent. Okay? Now, then there's the argument about, like, well, what do you prefer, localization or translation? And I think the issue with that is a lot of people are very strictest. They want it as is, right? Like, everything as is so that they can understand it. And for that, you need to go to a translator. The issue with this is, one, it may be confusing to you then. You may not actually understand the context if it's translated line for line. And two, you guys got to understand that where a lot of localization gets done is on a corporate level where somebody is bringing, like, say, a Japanese product to America. So please keep in mind that, like, that's a level of localization that you're never going to have any say in, ever, at all, right? Like, all you can basically deal with is, like, yeah, people like fan translating something. But at that point, they're not really localizing so much as they're translating. And this is the mark of a bad translator. Is a bad translator is someone that leaves their mark on what they're translating. Okay? And I'm not saying, like, they didn't take liberties with it or something like that. I think you can reasonably, as a translator, it's your prerogative to say, okay, how do I best say this so that people understand it? And that may be in a succinct way. That may be in a more elaborate way. It just depends on the message being conveyed. It's like sometimes it's easier to understand if you dumb it down for people, and at other times it actually requires more explanation so that you understand the like reference going on. So that's, again, like, translators will have to change things from time to time, but it's usually for the simple understanding of it. That being said, and we had this discussion in VIP the other day, this is why I'm able to talk, so I think, like, deeply on this topic, is, sorry, chat. I was, like, trying to breathe, and then my congestion caught me. But, essentially, the statement was made in VIP, and I completely agree with this, that anytime that you know what the localizer or the translator's stance is on something is the sign of a bad one. Okay? Now, I'm going to say this. That doesn't mean that the translator leaving you like a translator's note is the sign of a bad translator. No, in fact, that's a good translator. That means he's trying to give you additional context. What I mean is, like, let's say, I don't know, let's say Taigong Wang is, like, looking over at Koyanskaya and being like, die, Daji, you bitch. And then, like, instead the translator translates it as, die, Daji, you eloquent woman, or something like that, right? And then, like, the translator there has clearly changed something and doesn't like the treatment of women. You suddenly realize that's the case. Or maybe it's done in a different way, where all of a sudden a narrative gets pushed that wasn't there. Like in the case that we talked about, like fighting the patriarchy or something, right? Like, where, oh, that's not even close to what the person said. Usually that means that's them influencing the work, that's them imparting their own ideals upon the art piece that they are, you know, basically translating for people. So that becomes a problem, right? That basically takes agency away from the reader, the viewer, the watcher, whatever, right? Because no longer is it left up to them to decide. And I've heard this statement said by writers before, and I completely agree with it. And it's something that I think is like awesome about like the writing medium in general, and that, like, you know, reading books and such. And what I've heard an author say is, hey, you know, like, they got asked a question like, what did you mean at one point about, like, this part of your story? And I think they were on a TV show, and somebody basically, you know, like one of the anchors or whatever that was interviewing them said, this is what they thought he meant. And then that person immediately got cut off by another anchor saying, no, that's not what it meant. You can't have that opinion. And basically, at this point, the author had said nothing. The author hadn't even gotten to respond yet. The author stopped, interjected, and said, no, you're wrong. And then, you know, the other anchor looked at him flabbergasted, like, are you saying he's right then? And he said, no. He just said, the only wrong stance, the only wrong interpretation is the interpretation that you think he can't have. He's like, I left it open-ended on purpose so that it is subject to interpretation. So it's only when you're trying to tell someone that their interpretation's wrong that you're wrong. Otherwise, all interpretations are valid. And I'm like, yeah, it's a really cool thing about writing. If you leave something open-ended, it is left to the person's imagination. That's a storytelling thing in general. So you can see it some in movies as well, even though it's less used of a thing. So the same thing kind of goes true with translation and localization. If it is not left up to the agency of the reader, the viewer, whatever, to decide what their interpretation is, if it is interpreted for them, if they are told how to feel about something, that's a sign of a bad localizer and translator. That's basically taking away decision-making power. So. Exactly. Like, the whole point is you can provide more context, and if you're unsure, like, I've seen translators do this, where they basically said, like, you know what? Here, I'm translating it as is, and then here's my translator's note where they go, this is what I think they were trying to say. So that way you know it's the translator's opinion, and you might disagree with that, rather than the translator just interjecting that opinion in there. That's the translator making an educated guess, and that's okay, right? Like I said, if you found fault with that, then at that point you just go like, I don't, you know, whatever. Like I disagree with the translator there. But that's a hell of a lot different because he still gave you the actual text to let you decide. It's when you don't, that's your problem. When you change the work, when you influence it to suit your own agenda, you fucked up, basically. People can interpret things for themselves. You don't need to change the context. Right. I personally like notes that give cultural context to a joke. Yeah, it's always really nice for that. If you guys ever go back and watch Gintama, the old, like, fan-translated Gintama episodes have a shit ton of translators' notes on them. And, like, anytime there is a pop culture reference, a joke about a popular anime, or a comment on a, like, Japanese politician, the translator notes tell you that's who this person is, that's what this was about, yada, yada, yada. And so it's really good, because if you didn't have those notes, you would have no idea. And you've actually seen FGO has started to give sort of translators notes. And I think that's a good thing that they do that. Like, I think providing more context is always valuable, but changing the context is never valuable. If that makes any sense. Coda, thank you for the year. Inspired by your energy and will to keep things afloat as well as you can. Thank you. Yeah, some days it feels like I'm drowning, but thank you. Old fan subs are fundamentally made out of love for the series, not just the money. Yeah, I understand there's a demand for stuff to get translated, and a lot of the issue boils down to, like, people are lazy and don't want to have to do it themselves. And so they rely upon other people, and then other people are like, yeah, but it's hard work, so I don't want to have to do it, so pay me. And then money starts getting involved, and the second money starts getting involved, you start getting agendas. And I think that is an issue. Because I do agree. I think fan translation's good. I think commission translation can be good, but also can be really bad. The translator's notes in FGO feel like comedy most of the time. They are. That's how they're using it. Is the coin system back yet? The coin system's definitely back. Do you mean is it fixed? No. It still has not been fixed, unfortunately. Wait, why did I pop that there? I didn't mean to do that. Silent Butcher, thank you for the follow, and thank you for the Prime as well. Appreciate it. Yeah, can we get some love for our newest sub and enjoy your emotes? They are still Christmas emotes for now, but I will probably be changing those in the next week. I like to let the Christmas emotes live for, like, you know, all of December and then, like, you know, some of January. But yeah, they have not done anything to the coin system, and it is sad. I do miss old translators' notes at the end of chapters and such. Yeah. Yeah, I think, like, there is a time and a place for the translator to offer their opinion, and that time and place is not in the actual translation. It's basically like you guys said, like in a note to the side or a note at the end of a chapter, you name it, right? And you want to take the time to explain what you thought they were talking about, go for it. Be my guest. I think as a translator, you have earned that right. That being said, it should be the case if you still translate it as is. Hadaru season is all year, Cad? Lies. The later episodes, when the others get there, it was subbed by someone else. So all the jokes I saw were English puns, which had me really disappointed. What, for like Gintama? Oh, DBZ, I got you. Yeah, I think it's just the unfortunate nature. I think also as anime has gotten to be a lot bigger, a lot more people are now involved in it. It's become a lot more commonplace. It's still not normie level, and I wanna be clear on that, because I see people all the time that are like, oh, it's normie level. I'm like, maybe where you are. It's definitely not normie level like with me. Like I've talked with my brother about this. He still thinks I'm weird to some degree for liking anime. So until you reach that point, until you reach a point where like you can talk openly about it with like normal people, and they're not gonna be like, why are you watching cartoons? It's gonna be a thing. I like seeing some tweets concerning localization concerns me. Yeah, like I said, I think it's an interesting issue. It's always been an issue, but it appears like, yeah, between AI and between like people with agendas, it's getting worse. So that's my point. I wouldn't bash all localizers. There's some really good localizers out there. You just need to be upfront and point out like the people that are bad faith doing it, right? Like they're not doing a good job. They're trying to transform the work. They're not trying to like, you know, pass it on as is. What made it even funnier, yeah. I mean, there's some stuff like that, like the Ghost Stories dub, where like it got brought over to English, and in the process they like were allowed free reign with how they translated it and localized it, so they just went like actually crazy with it. Cad, is it normie to watch High School DxD? High School Musical, maybe. High School DxD, no. Actually, I think even High School Musical at this point is probably cringe. Like, and that was after my time, but I assume now the Zoomers are also like, what the fuck, High School Musical? Ew. Always has been, yeah. I actually have students who have watched anime. That's awesome, like, to a degree. I will say this, like, as someone that was in that, like, first wave of people to, like, get hooked on anime and like watching it, it's so awesome now to see, like, it is becoming more accepted and more common in the, like, younger generations. So I do like that. It feels like I'm gonna get to be that, like, old anime grandpa at some point, where it's gonna be like, listen here, you little shit. Sit on my lap while I tell you, while your grandfather tells you a story about the good old days. Back when we had, like, I don't know, such crazy and awesome titles like Dragon Ball and, like, Naruto. Just start going through terrible anime. And then, like, watch as the kid just sits there and looks at you and is like, what the hell? That's so cringe, Grandpa. My dad thinks I should grow up from anime. I totally understand that standpoint. Adults like to watch more serious stuff. Here's the thing. A lot of the serious stuff, because I watch it from time to time too. I watch certain dramas and I'm like, some of them are okay. Others are extremely formulaic and boring. And others are just plain depressive. And I don't know. Like, I think part of the reason I like anime, I like shonens, is they follow the typical hero's journey. You get a sense of adventure. You get a sense of, like, wonderment. And usually they're pretty, like, upbeat. It's not like, woe is me, the world sucks, everything is going to hell. It's usually, like, trying to look on the bright side of things. And I'm just like, ah, yes, finally something that doesn't make me want to unalive myself. Anime is just a different medium to present an idea. It is. It is. And yeah, don't get me wrong. Like, there's all types of anime out there like that. You can definitely find more depressive anime, right? But at the end of the day, I don't know. Like, to me, I just know what I like, and I'm a-okay with it. And sadly, what I like is just almost not being offered at all by Western media anymore. There are some shows, but there are very few that actually do offer like something that I'm interested in. Like, and to give you an example of this, chat, I'm a huge Lord of the Rings fan. So, you know, oh man, Amazon's making a Lord of the Rings series. I'm gonna be honest with you, I could like lie and say that I was looking forward to it, but I wasn't, because even on the like first thing that we heard about Rings of Power, we knew it was gonna be shit. So it was one of those deals where I watched it purely to like watch the terribleness unfold and to like point out all the like issues with it. It was like a legitimately entertaining hate watch. And I don't normally do that sort of thing, but like Lord of the Rings is like special to me, so I absolutely will watch it. And the same way that I forced myself to watch like episode 9 of Star Wars, which like God, I will never go back and watch ever again. But yeah, like you know, so even when the West does offer something that I'm interested in and like, they usually fuck it up. That's usually the issue. It's never done well. It's always this like terrible like agenda pushing bull crap, and I'm just like, I just want to escape from all of this. I don't need this, you know, like, I live this shit. I go to work every day. I deal with these people. I'm like, I want to come home and relax and, like, fantasize about something. I don't want that shit then being like, hey, do you remember, like, all this, like, other crazy stuff we've been trying to, like, ram down your throat for the past, like, 10 years? No, here you go. Have more of it. And I'm like, no. Yes, I want to see big anime titties. Is that so much to ask? JC Gamer, thank you for the follow. Would you ever pick up Lord of the Rings online again? Probably not. It was a fun game. I really enjoyed it. But would I probably pick it up again? No. Netflix ruining The Witcher? Yeah, The Witcher was a great series. I watched all of season 3. It was awful. I completely agree with all of the reviews that have basically said that, like, the problem with The Witcher season 3 is that it doesn't star The Witcher. And it's completely right. Like, they absolutely destroyed that show. Yeah, I can't watch, like, misery porn, Arch, but as long as they're, like I can watch something depressing as long as there's hope. Like, there has to be hope for that to, like, be worth. But I've definitely seen some stuff where it's just like, there's no hope. And I'm like, so, like, I'll give you guys an example of this. I'm okay with it in Diablo, but, like, Diablo is the exact, like, example of, like, I played through all of Diablo 4 story. There's no fucking hope in that story. Like, at all. That's the issue with that story. It was pretty good, but the problem is like, you begin to realize by the end of the story that it's just like, how does good ever win? How is this not just a perpetually losing battle? Yep, Castlevania was great until it wasn't. Until they got new writers, and the writers decided to fill it full of basically agenda bullshit. I saw a 4chan post talking about the new Castlevania season, and it essentially was, you know, green text, and it goes, you know, season, I think it's like season 5 of the show, interestingly enough, but they're like, season 5 of Castlevania has basically no castles, no vampire, well, sorry, I think it has vampires, but it's like, it has no castles. It portrays Christianity terribly, even though it's well portrayed in the actual games. It does not star any of the main characters of any of the other series. Like there's no Dracula, there's no like any of that stuff. So it's just kind of going down the list of like all the things that Castlevania is about and all of the things that the show just does not have. And I'm like, yup. Yup. Yeah, that's the issue with it. So Nocturne was just not good. Like, I think Nocturne got better towards the end of that season, because again, I watched the whole thing. And it was only better because there is a character reveal at the end of the season that makes you go like, oh, thank God, the second season can't be as bad because that character will now be there. That's it. That's like the only positive thought that I had was like, oh, there is a character there now that I recognize. I'm a pseudo translator when it comes to rolling, since y'all shouldn't roll everything, but it's your choice. That's true. I'm a gotcha whisperer. Why did they change stuff from the graphic novels for The Walking Dead? Yeah, I think people were pretty cope that was going to end up well, and then it didn't. Like, I think the first couple seasons of The Walking Dead were good, but I think, like, I got all the way to, like, season 5, and I tried to drop the show twice, but my buddy kept encouraging me to watch it. It was fucking awful after that point. And I eventually did end up dropping it, so I don't really know how it ended. Devoted Binky, thank you for the follow. We all know that character will be killed off by the end of the series. Probably. Dad, that reveal is the only reason I'll give season 2 a shot. Oh, I won't. I'm not giving season 2 of that show a shot. Not until someone comes back, watches it for me, and tells me that Nocturne season 2 is actually good. If someone doesn't tell me that, I'm done with the show. Because it's the writers that make me have no faith. I looked up who those writers are. I know what those writers have written. I'm not watching season 2 of that show. At all. Unironically, I think Diablo 2 had a better story than 4. Yeah, I think so. Like, don't get me wrong. I was pretty okay with Diablo 4's story. I'm just pointing out that, like, Diablo 4's story has, like, no actual hope in it, and it's just fucking misery. Like, quite literally. I have no desire to watch a spinoff. Wait, there's a spinoff starring him? What anime am I watching this season? I just got done watching Delicious in Dungeon today, which is great. I highly recommend it. It's just a comfy, good fantasy anime. And it involves cooking. But it's cooking monster parts, chat. So, like, not like, hey, I'm making a steak. It's like, hey, I'm making a steak out of, like, this, like, crazy thing that no one would want to eat. You must watch Maho Seihei no Slave. Yeah, I ain't watching that hentai. Nice try. Nice try, Straw. I probably will, in all honesty, because I know Zephyr really wants to watch it, so he'll probably bait me into it at some point. What, like Toriko? Yeah, think of it like fantasy D&D style Toriko. Hentai this season is the magical girl one? Yeah, I've heard that one's somehow worse. It's not hentai, it's borderline. Yeah, it's ecchi, chat, is the correct terminology for it. Daryl ends up in France? Wait? I've heard that's where the new Blade game is gonna be. Okay, Win, I see your comment out of nowhere, and I'm not sure what it's referring to, so now I'm terrified. I got nothing to watch this season. I'm gonna enjoy the break. I think there's several shows that I'm down to watch. Like I always start out giving everything a shot, and then if I don't like it, I don't continue with it. I think it's that simple, right? Also, a spinoff with Negan and Maggie. I don't care at all about Negan. Negan is where I stopped watching the show. Because that's where it became... So, I pointed this out. The issue with The Walking Dead is The Walking Dead, somewhere around, and I think it's season 5, but somewhere around season 5, The Walking Dead stops being about zombies. And it instead starts being about, like torture. Like that, like they start going with like instead of zombies being the fear factor, it becomes gore, and like I'm like, nah, I'm okay. Like I didn't sign up to this show for gore. I signed up to this show for zombies, and like they kind of just completely like bucked that for a long time. That's where I just was like, enough is enough. Really watching Yakuza's Guide to Babysitting. Ah, it's a good one. Does nothing really grab my attention? I think part of it, Sandman, is also though, like, if you don't go looking, then yeah, you'll naturally fall off. And Negan is still alive and still on new episodes. Yeah, because I know people really like that character. I just don't care for him in the slightest. Oh, the creator for Toriko. Okay, sorry. Yeah, I thought you were talking about like the Magical Girl anime, and I was like, monk ass. But yeah, I feel like I've heard that before, ironically enough. Which is kind of wild, because like, you know, I feel like usually with an artist, you can kind of tell, like, because they end up putting those sorts of tendencies in their work. But at least with like Toriko, I didn't really feel like it much. I guess you could argue, well, yeah, I'm not going to get into that. That's going to get into, like, some weird shit, but... Elfin lead in School Days? No. No. By the way, did you watch Mahoka? There's going to be a new season later this year. I did not. They all convert from a survival horror to action-oriented. Yeah, and I understand why. It's because, like, they get bored just doing the same old zombie thing. But I'm gonna say this. Why do they get bored doing the same old zombie thing? Well, part of that's because they make their zombies what amounts to being, like, brainless walkers. And when you do that, there's a certain point where if you've just got a slow, stupid zombie, it is very easy to outwit. It is very easy to like corral and control. And so I think that's kind of the issue that they run into. Aren't they actively decomposing too? Yeah, I think there's like some logic that basically in a lot of cases like zombie stuff just doesn't work because zombies would in effect have to like kind of die from lack of sustenance. That is to say, if they survive off of brains, they need some way. I've seen other shows tackle this in interesting ways where they basically say like that the zombies go dormant. So like they're just kind of standing there, but they're not using up any of their resources. And they're just kind of like getting photosynthesis and stuff from like the sun. And they don't actually like consume anything until they like hear something or see something, and then they like reactivate. They come out of dormancy and they start like chasing after people. I've also seen it, and I think this is the better interpretation, where zombies are not undead, they are a virus. So like they're actually intelligent. I forget what it is, but I know there's like a zombie movie where like it's not quite zombies, but basically people get infected with a virus and they start trying to like eat humans. Like they start just becoming like almost like cannibals instead. But they're extremely like intelligent. And they basically like become almost like super predators. No, not I Am Legend. Resident Evil zombies evolve into Crimson Heads into liquors. Yeah, I mean, Resident Evil is interesting for that because, like, it does, like, a lot of it's, like, experimentation, so there's just other variants and stuff out there of the T-virus. But yeah, like, I almost like the virus approach more, where it's, like, the virus basically lobotomizes them, but, like, they're still, like, very capable and able to move fast. I need more Zom 100. I think a lot of people do. All right, chat. It's gray time. Da, da, na, na. What's her overture? Right. But it's after. Yeah. Sorry, chat. I think it's the eggnog. Forgive me for yawning. This is the one I was looking for. And I'm trying to remember because I think there's a Buster Quick hybrid. Yeah, celebrate memories. No, not that one. Not that one. Not that one. I remember Teacher and I. Okay. That should be enough 60% C's, right, chat? Got his board of chat? Yes. Have you seen Demon Knight Tales of the Crypt? Think I have. Is this the 4th Case Files event? Between NA and JP, yes. Will be my 4th time doing the event. You would think by now I would have it memorized. Hello, Bodagon, how you been? I'm sorry, this is wild. This is wild. If you know, you know, chat. Ugh. Oh my god. Yeah, that eggnog is just making me want to be like I can't even snort. Right screen, yep, we're changing it right now. Eggnog, sleepnog, yes. I think it's just like how thick eggnog is that like it's just like it's making me just go to sleep. Wave on, I see. So wait, they have no problems with the event being the 4th, but they don't want to run some other good event for a second? Oh, no. When I say 4th, I'm saying, Thomas, that this is like between NA and JP, this is the 4th time this event is run. If that makes any sense? On NA, this is only the 2nd time. And this is one of our last reruns that we get. Like, we get this one, and then I think we get Carnimus at the end of the year with its rerun. And I think that's the last time we get a rerun to date. Like, obviously they can still do more reruns, but they just have not been running them. I've never had eggnog, it's not a thing here. We usually only have it around the holidays. Like it's literally only available in stores during the holidays because I assume they, you know, don't bother with it outside of the demand, the seasonal demand. Vampire Killer, best Castlevania theme. Okay. Go ahead and get started here, chat. Make sure my thingamajig is working. My thingamajig. Hey guys, my name is Khadroth, and today we're going to be talking to you about Gray, our upcoming welfare from the El Malloy Case Files rerun event that's going to be coming out soon here on NA. Again, the Case Files event should be happening somewhere mid-January. I'm looking at it being available as soon as January 12th. We'll see whether or not they match that. May come early, may come late. So just, you know, again, pay attention to the developer announcements and see when they actually do announce it. But in preparation for that, we're going to be talking about Gray today. Even though we've already had Gray available on the NA server for a while, it kind of bears worth mentioning that Gray has now gotten an NP interlude. That is to say, alongside Reigns, she'll be getting an NP interlude here with the Case Files rerun. It's a really, really solid interlude that gives her a ton new damage capability as well as other effects. So it kind of does change the game for Gray and makes it worth doing another one of these videos. So, to talk to you guys about Gray, you guys should understand that Gray is a welfare unit. She's a 4-star AoE Buster Berserker. Oddly enough, she's got a triple quick kit. So that does kind of make it a little bit odd for her. But again, we'll talk about her actual performance as we get into the nitty gritty. The big thing to understand is that as a welfare servant, if you miss her here, you're not going to be able to get her until she basically shows up during the Evocation Festival. So this will be your last stab at her. The good news is you will be able to get her coins. And again, this is going to allow her to really pop off due to that. So we're going to talk a lot about her as we get through here. So let's go ahead and begin. So Right off the bat, you guys can see Gray ends up having about 9.4k attack. This isn't bad. This is actually a fairly good number. Just keep in mind it's going to be reduced by the fact that she is an assassin. But for assassins, especially 4 stars, this is this is not a bad number. So again, I'm going to say this is perfectly okay for her. Her HP value is a little bit more on the anemic side at only 10.5. The good news is we do have a little bit of hard survivability in her kit should you need it. And again, at the end of the day, you're probably going to be 3-turning with her in a Koyanskaya setup or something like that. So I don't think you'll have to worry too much about survivability with her unless you're trying to take her into a more challenging setup. From here, you guys can see she is mana attribute. She does have star absorption of 99 and star generation of 25. The star generation is definitely nice and pretty high. Star absorption is kind of right in the middle of the road, so not good, not bad, but maybe slightly low, but nothing too awful. She does have 0.71 NP charge attack, which may seem pretty high to you guys, and that's understandable, but keep in mind the fact she is a buster unit, and she's got a triple quick deck. So, yeah, I can understand why they would want to make her sort of NP gain pretty good, since she only has the 1 arts card. Her NP charge defense is 4%, which is 1% higher than average. Again, this is just nice. If she does get hit, it's just going to mean even more charge for you. Her death rate, unfortunately, and honestly, oddly enough, is 44%. The reason I say oddly enough is because Gray's whole shtick is being anti-undead. So, kind of weird to have an anti-undead unit pretty prone to death. But regardless, I guess it works, and there's nothing in the lore really to prevent it. Her alignment is lawful good, and she is a female gendered unit. She is an Artoria face, aka Saber face as I like to call it. She is Hominid Servant, Humanoid, Living Human, Round Table Knight, Servant, 7 Knight Servant, and weak to Enema Elish. The only odd one here might be the Round Table Knight one, but if you know, you know, and so you'll be a-okay with the fact that she has this. Her deck here is, again, as we mentioned, triple quick. This is actually somewhat of a rarity in FGO, especially nowadays. There are very few triple quick units in the entire game, and this is sort of one of the reasons why if you guys are ever rolling around with your command keys and you start trying to use them to unlock cards on units, you'll notice that you actually have somehow magically more quick command keys over time. The reason for this is just because you're not using them as often, because while there are plenty of triple arts and triple buster units, there are very few triple quick units. So there's just not as many cards. The devs seem to really be incentivizing buster and arts, to no one's surprise at this point. But again, just because it's quick doesn't mean it's bad, and Gray does have a lot of stuff in her kit to actually make this work, so I think you guys will be a-okay with the fact that she does have this. I would maybe prefer the second buster over the third quick, but at the end of the day, this is still perfectly fine. Her hit counts here for her quick and arts cards are all average, so that there's nothing to worry about there. The only concern would be technically the buster card here, which is 1 below average at 2 hits. But again, this is perfectly fine given the fact that it is a buster card, so we're not going to be relying on it too much for, say, star generation or, again, NP generation in that regard. Looking at her active skills here, you can see her first skill is an increase to her own attack for 3 turns by up to 30%. This is not a party-wide charisma or anything, it's just herself. It's a very selfish skill in that regard. And then it increases her own damage against undead enemies for 3 turns, giving her a 100% 3-turn power mod. This is strong. If you're ever going up against anything undead, Gray is your girl. She will be able to kill it rather easily with that kind of power mod, and especially with her new NP interlude, even outside of event bonus situations, this will allow her to start dealing kind of funky sort of single target damage numbers. So really a nice thing for her to have here. The unfortunate nature is, as an assassin, there is not too many like rider undead enemies out there. You're looking at like ghosts and zombies and such, and yeah, most of them just end up being other classes for better or worse. So it is what it is, but again, I'm gonna say it's fine, and it's just a unique thing that Gray has. All of this is on a 5-turn cooldown. Now, the thing to pay attention to is because of Gray's new NP interlude, you can actually 3-turn with her with double Koyanskaya. So as a result, you do want to pay attention to these skill cooldowns. This is going to mean if before you had Gray and you maybe didn't have some of her stuff lord, you might need to now in order to get it back in time. For this skill, you would not have to have it lured. If you didn't, you would get the skill on turn 1 and turn 3, so you would still have basically it doubling up. You just, if you actually did lure it, would only have it on a 5-turn cooldown, and that would mean you could get it as often as turn 1 and then turn 2. So you could literally get it right back the second turn, making you hit hard in like a wave 2 area where maybe there might be a high health enemy that's an annoyance. Though there is some benefit to actually having the skill lured, just because it allows you to sort of fast track the attack up here. And certainly, again, being able to double stack anti-undead niche is just going to be powerful. Her second skill here is quick and buster performance for 1 turn of 40% each. So this is kind of the issue with this skill, is it is 40% each on quick and buster, which is strong. The problem is it's only a single turn duration. As a result, because this is on a 6-turn cooldown, you are going to want to lure it. Otherwise, you're going to struggle to actually get it back in a 3-turn. But what this will allow you to do is pop it on turns 1 and turn 3. The downside is you just may not actually need it on turn 1, and it would have been better, say, on turn 2 and turn 3. That would have been possible if you had had a 5-turn cooldown skill, but you don't. You have a 6-turn, so the devs kind of screwed you on this one, but it's kind of understandable why, considering the fact that this is also the skill that grants herself invincibility for 1 attack, 1 turn. This is not a huge amount of hard defense, but it is some hard defense, and again, this will be able to soak an NP for you in an emergency situation should you need, so it is what it is. I think my only gripe is this is also 1-turn duration, and it is also attached to the 1-turn duration steroids, so you really have no choice in the matter. It's basically you either choose to use this to survive, or you don't, and then you die. You either use it to survive and lose your steroid, or you don't. Not much of a choice, and thus, basically, it ends up being kind of a problem. If the steroids were multi-turn duration, that would give you at least a little bit of leeway for when you would want to pop it, but they don't, so kind of is a little bit of an annoyance. Still a strong skill all in all. Her second skill charges her own NP gauge by 20%, and then increases her own debuff resistance for 3 turns by 30%. This is actually a strong debuff resistance, but I'm going to tell you flat out, the reason you're going to lure this skill is not due to the amount of debuff resistance it gives. It's due to the charge. If you want to be able to 3-turn with double Koyanskaya, you're looking at the skill that you need to lure, basically, in order to do that. So, again, just keep that in the back of your mind, but you will want to lure the skill, regardless of the fact that it doesn't scale charge, because of the cooldown. If you leave this on a 7-turn cooldown, you're going to have to resort to some sort of alternate mean, which then means you wouldn't probably be able to use Oberon in your backline, which then probably means you won't be 3-turning. At least not from nearly as, beneficial of a starting point. So again, I'm going to say you're going to want to end up luring basically all of Gray's skills. And the reason why is to get multiple effects. The second skill is maybe the easiest one to get away with not luring, because if you don't, you're basically looking at a 4% degradation to the buster buff for the NP. But at the end of the day, you can still just say have a 7-turn cooldown and pop this only on turn 3, and you'd be okay. The only question would be, could you make it through waves 1 and 2, which again, in a buster comp, you should be able to, but it just depends. But again, that is sort of the issue. You're going to now want to lure Gray's skills because of this change to her NP. For passive skills, she gets Independent Action A+. This is going to increase her own critical damage by 11%. Magic Resistance C to increase her debuff resistance by 15%. And then Reflection of the King to increase her own NP generation rate by 10%. So this is in addition to the already nice 0.71 NP charge attack. Just keep in mind, again, she doesn't really have a lot of arts cards or anything. She's got 3 quick cards, which is something. But again, it's just a nice thing for her to have because this is a permanent effect. Her second skill for her append is absolutely the one you should go with first. This is the one you guys are going to want to lure, and I'm going to explain to you why. Basically, a standard Koyanskaya setup for Gray, and I actually explained this during the case files review kind of works like this. If we divide it up into basically, let's just say wave 1, wave 2, and wave 3, you're going to be looking at wave 2 being both the Koyanskaya 50% charges, wave 3 having Oberon's 70% charge, and thus Gray must fill in the blanks. And so this is kind of how we solve for 300. Well, the good news is the change to Gray's NP means she gets 10% refund on the back of her NP. That does mean it's also here in turn 2, but we don't care because at that point we're at 110% charge. So that 10% charge here, combined with the ability to utilize her 20% charge skill again, means that now wave 3 is solved and you've got 100% charge there. We also know that we can double pop that skill, so that means we can start out with 20% charge from that charge skill that she has, and then you could start out with her maxed out mana loading. That then means you would be able to 3-turn starting from 60%, so a good 60% CE will sort of be meta with Gray. Having a decent one will allow you to really pop off and get some good damage out of her, especially if you have certain ones. But again, at the end of the day, there are numerous other things that you can do, and you don't necessarily have to have the mana loading. If you don't have a decent 60% CE, you can always just throw on a normal K-scope or some such, and basically just work from there. I do recommend at minimum, though, for something like that, unlocking the mana loading just so that you have it. But again, you will get coins from the event, so let's just go ahead and assume that you did. Doing so would allow you to work with something like an MLB Imaginary Element or something like that at 75%, and you should be basically capable. The whole point to being able to start out with a 60% C is not to be able to touch something like Imaginary Element, though. It's to be able to actually utilize craft essences that not only have starting charge, but also some sort of beneficial effect that will increase Gray's damage output. That's going to be your bread and butter, and that's the whole reason why I'm telling you, get and lure that mana loading if you can. Her third append here is Anti-Berserker attack damage aptitude, so it's going to be the second one you'll want to go with. It's actually really solid. Again, this is just going to give Gray even more damage against a class she was already effective against. So I highly recommend working on this one as well, but this should come second fiddle to the mana loading. And then the first one is Odd Man Out here, as the extra attack finesse improvement is still good, but admittedly, it's going to shine less compared to the second and third append. So again, my recommendation for the append order is 2, 3, 1. But again, they're all going to be useful, and you should have enough coins for them all. Her Noble Phantasm started out as a 4-hit AoE buster. It just dealt damage to all enemies, and then after the fact, it reduced their quick and buster resistance for 3 turns by 20% each. Again, you'll notice a lot of the stuff has both quick and buster synergy. Buster because of the buster in P and the singular card, and quick because of the triple quick deck. So essentially, the fact that she ends up having this second skill here that also impacts quick by 40%, and then ends up having an overcharge that reduces quick resistance by 20%, your quick cards can not only hit decently hard, but also generate some good stars and NP for you due to the simple overlap of all of these skills. So it's a really, really nice thing for it to have. But yes, otherwise it was a straightforward AoE buster NP, nothing too much to write home about. Then they end up giving her this NP interlude, and what it does is it basically gives her ignore invincibility for 1 turn before her damage goes out. This now means you're basically not going to stop Gray from damaging you, and it's going to be a really powerful thing. She's then going to deal damage to all enemies, which has had its damage increased, and she will now charge 10% NP off the back of her NP. So, that's going to allow her to be able to 3-turn. That 10% refund on the back end is actually what makes all the difference. Without that 10% refund, you would be staring at Oberon of 70%, Gray of 20%, and be shy of 10% in order to be able to 3-turn. You might be thinking, oh, well, maybe I could use a Mystic Code or something like that. You might be able to, but then there goes your plug suit, so you just wouldn't be able to work nearly as effectively or have as much charge or damage in order to work out for her. The overcharge effects stay the same here, so again, you kind of know what the deal is, and it will just increase damage after the NP. So when you follow up the NP with quick or buster cards, Boom, there you go. 20% more effectiveness right there just off that. And that's assuming no ranks of overcharge or anything else. So again, Gray's pretty good now because of this. In fact, there have been a lot of arguments about Gray with regards to her damage, but we'll go through the CEs first here. So you already heard me talk about why I think 60% CEs are going to be sort of the best option. Let's go ahead and talk with you guys about some of the 60% Cs. The Battle Olympia is going to be right here at 2k attack. This one is an old Nero Fest CE. You have had decent opportunities to roll it, but some of you may not have done so. It's arts and buster performance of 10% with starting battle at 60% gauge. Now, the arts performance is not really going to be that beneficial to Gray, but the buster up of 10% means this is better than your average sort of imaginary element. You're not only getting the 60% charge, but you're also getting some additional firepower for using this. And thus, picking something like Battle Olympia can be really good. If you manage to be in some sort of challenge scenario, you might be able to get away with stuff like cranking or aerial drive, but that's going to require you to have the capability to get an additional 10% charge somehow, particularly on that opening wave. So again, it's up to you to determine how to do that, but yeah, things like Kuro and such later on do make stuff like this a little bit more possible. Still, cranking is a very good CE that you guys will get next year during the Bunyan event. Participation with the King, aka Partake with the King, is a really, really awesome option. It's probably the best option for her. At MLB, you're looking at 15% buster performance with starting battle at 60% gauge, all attack scaling. So again, this one's a really good one, but this one is an old one as it comes all the way back from the first anniversary of FGO. It is a rare CE at this point. You either have it probably or you don't, and if you don't, odds are you're not going to have a good opportunity at this point to get your hands on it again. Summer Anniversary was a much more recent one. This one came out with 6 Annie this past year. For those of you guys that rolled Koyanskaya of Light there, you should have it. It's all attack scaling, buster performance of 10%, battle gauge of 60%, and then critical damage of buster cards by 20% to add to that. Celebrate Memories comes from our 5th anniversary. Most of these are anniversary CEs. This one is unfortunately split stats, so be a little bit careful with it. But it does have buster and quick of 10% with 60% gauge, so a little bit more in her wheelhouse. Walk in the Park here is also split stats. This one comes from the 4th anniversary. And you can kind of see we get a 60% CE every anniversary. It is a trend that we've known for a while. It's going to increase critical star absorption rate by 200. This will help out her since she does have kind of that middle of the road star absorption. And then increase NP damage by 15% and battle gauge of 60. So this is actually, even though it's not all attack scaling, going to be something that will probably scale a little bit better with Oberon due to the fact that you have that extra oomph from the NP damage there. And then A Tale of Love and Hope. This one comes from the 3rd anniversary. This one's also split stats. And while this one isn't going to be my recommendation, I felt like throwing it in because obviously critical damage and critical star absorption can still be useful to you, especially if you end up in some sort of scenario where you have to card. But again, as we've mentioned, Imaginary Number Magecraft is a decent option for those of you guys that don't have any of those CEs. Same thing with Crystallization of Winter. This is the much more newer version of it, the Ilioscope, if you will. And again, each one of these can work for you, or like I said, you could just throw on something like a normal K-Scope or Wizard Marshal. Either of those should get you to the 80% charge, and that should kind of prevent you from either having to use your charge skill if you have MLB, or maybe just, having your mana loading unlocked. Or it could replace your mana loading, and instead you just use the charge skill on turn 1. Any of those options should be fine. But again, those are going to be some of the best ones. Thankfully, Gray's not going to need anything like an Invuln Pierce because she just got it with this NP interlude. For the actual damage numbers, and again, like I said, this is where a lot of the concern comes in. You might be looking at this and going like, okay, hey, look at the list. It's got a bunch of 5 stars up here at the top. But would you notice who's sitting kind of conspicuously right here? It's Gray. Gray is doing a decent damage number at NP1. That should tell you a lot about how strong this NP interlude is for Gray. Gray without extra NP levels. NP level for NP level is beating the pants off of Cleopatra, assuming her, again, proc there. And then, oh no, I'm sorry, that does not assume Cleo's Imperial Privilege proc. And then certainly other units like Semiramis a little bit further down the list. So if they actually manage to land their stuff, they will be stronger than Gray at NP1. The issue is Gray is a welfare and thus is a guaranteed NP5. You're actually looking at about 35k here. Just remember, these are raw neutral numbers. They're not considering any sort of external buffs. They're only considering a unit's own buffs. They're not considering mystic codes, craft essences, or again, other supports with their items. So it just boils down to, at the end of the day, it's very much in a vacuum and shouldn't be treated as gospel, but it is a thing, at least for comparative purposes, to denote, because this 35k number would put her easily on the top of the list for NP1. That's the reason why we're going to call attention to this, is this does make Gray a very strong AoE. Now, later on, you guys will be getting other stuff, like sort of the Welfare Valkyries. Their damage numbers not nearly as snazzy, as they're going to cap out somewhere around 24k, but they do end up managing to have Earth Attribute and, again, instant kill on Demonic, but I digress. The whole point to them, though, is that they're an Arts Looper, and they're very good at what they do, so you don't have to worry too much about that. They will at least be significantly different than Gray will be. But again, I'm going to say this. Gray's damage numbers are pretty top tier, and we're going to kind of talk about this. Because in a normal setup, this is going to be 2 times Koyanskaya plus Oberon, and we're going to use a level 100, basically Summer Anniversary CE. So we're talking this one right here. Level 100 of this, which is just 10% Buster up, okay? So it's a 60% CE. Basically, double Koyanskaya Oberon with Neo Plug Suit at rank 10. Most of you guys aren't going to have Neo Plug Suit at rank 10. Don't worry too much about it. It's just for comparative sake. We're going to keep everything the same across these comparisons. The wave 1 for Gray, you're going to be looking at 75k. Wave 2, you're going to be looking at basically 78k. And then wave 3, you're going to be looking at 250k as the Oberon spike comes in. If it's undead, you're looking at 150. You're looking at 233. And then you're looking at 501. This is, again, the power of being able to double up that undead niche. Definitely going to be pretty strong in that regard. But comparing this to someone like, say, Semiramis, so again, just kind of keeping Gray's normal numbers over here on the side, as we said, 75k, 78k, and then basically 250k. For Semi, you're going to be instead looking at, for her at like NP1, 57k, 46k, and 164k. At NP2, those numbers are going to bump up significantly, but they will still pretty much all be less than Gray's, even at NP2. This is kind of the issue. Semiramis does need a buff. She has needed a buff for a long time, but JP has not given it to her. And she's kind of the odd man out at this point because almost all of the other units have gotten them. It's kind of like the sort of Tamamo Lancer situation where most of her other contemporaries in 5-star single target Lancers have had an NP interlude, and she just hasn't. So Tamamo Lancer in her case does have that Buster synergy, so does Semiramis, but it's a hard argument when you're going up against someone like Gray, who's also Buster synergistic and has had the attention. Cleopatra's numbers as well, and this is no Imperial privilege, are going to be looking at 31k, 50k, and 152k. Definitely a little bit spicier in these situations. And again, each one of these is sort of their best free turn setup, their best CE type of situation. If you do have Imperial privilege, though, Cleo goes to 44, 70, and then 203. So much more respectable numbers as long as the Imperial privilege lands. Hez's damage in comparison here is going to be a little bit weirder. Now we're comparing apples to oranges a little bit. We've got Arts to Buster. But again, just taking a look at that and giving you guys sort of the lowdown on Gray's damage. Gray was again 75k, 78k, and 250k right there. Tez, you're going to be looking at for like NP1 of him with 2 times Castoria, Oberon, and a level 100 Black Grail. You've got Black Grail damage coming in here. This is going to be a little bit more significant for him as he's going to be dealing 133k, 144k, and then a very nice spike to 314. So NP1 Tez definitely showing that kind of power creep over time there. But a lot of that is actually, more than anything, his ability to touch Black Grail. Comparing, say, the Summer Valks, for instance, though, you're also going to instead be looking at 151k, 151k, and 291k. And this is again because of that ability to touch Black Grail. So further on down the line, as we get towards the end of the year, as we start heading into basically what amounts to year 7 for FGO NA, you guys will definitely start to get some more quality of life options as AoE assassins that can Black Grail loop and can definitely deal a lot of damage. But in that interim, Gray's going to absolutely be a fantastic option for you. So I do recommend at least kind of utilizing her for the time being. She could be a very solid option for you regardless of kind of your setup, just due to that NP interlude. But if you do set her up right, she will outperform most of the current NP1 SSRs. Start talking multiple NP levels, they're going to outperform Gray, certainly, but definitely as you just take it as is, Gray is still very good. So let me know what you guys think about Gray's buff. How do you guys feel it changes the game for her? And you know, would you like to see other AoE assassins get a buff to help them compete with the likes of Gray and then later on Tezcatlipoca as well as Summer Valks? I'll be curious to hear you guys' thoughts, and I will see you guys for the next one. Have a good one. Okay. There you go, chat. Could also use Coin of Light? No. Hear me out. So Avalon gave me the Coin of Light numbers. I didn't use them because Coin of Light and trying to explain her to people and be like, well, yeah, you can't use like triple Coin of Light. It's not double Coin Skya of Light with... I could do it. She does get the benefit of herself being the target, but I didn't want to have to get into like explaining how her setup is and why it's different, right? But it's fine. Using Coin of Light as a looper is such a waste of Bond Dimo. I mean, you can do it if you like Coin of Light, right? Like, Coin of Light's numbers are not bad. I think that's the other thing to keep in mind is, like, her numbers are very solid. Obviously, NP5 Gray is going to beat Coin of Light, basically, without the ability to touch, like, some crazy CEs or, like, man attribute coming into play. But I mean, that's assuming a low NP level of Coin of Light. If you're someone that like really likes her and you start like, I don't know, like going for like NP2, NP3, yada yada yada, you're definitely gonna have a powerful Coin of Light, and she should be able to beat Gray at that point. It's pretty hard despite being a support. Yep, I think you guys see that with her and with Oberon. And now obviously Coin of Dark, but they really wanted to buck the idea of support units having a support NP. And I'm going to explain to you why right here. They don't want support units to have support NPs if they can't make the support NP good enough to make people roll multiple copies. I think this is sort of where we see like their design choices are starting to get made to make them more money. Because it is pretty clear that like that's a design choice that favors making more money. Giving a support unit, a meta support especially, a damage dealing NP means you have all the reason in the world to roll for multiple copies then. And that's exactly what they're planning on. I think they looked at that. They saw people being like, oh, I'm just getting one waiver. I'm just getting one Tamamo. I'm just getting one Merlin. I'm just getting blah, 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 blah. And I think they kind of saw that, like Scotty especially. And they went like, hold up. We got to do something about that. And I think it started with Castoria. And then they went like, shit, that's too strong. All right, let's just give him a damage dealing NP. And I think that's kind of what they decided on, and it's kind of been that way since. This is why Pope Jones should have had a support MP? Probably. Like in all seriousness. Yeah, I also have the Huyan numbers. If anyone is curious, I'll throw them out right here. They won't be in the video, but Coin of Light's NP1 numbers were 61k, 74k, and 203k. At NP2, that bumped up to 81, 99, basically 99.6, and 271. So it became a lot more respectable at NP2, and that's why I was saying, like, at NP2, she probably starts to beat Gray. Huyan Zhou is an interesting one. She's the quick AoE that we've kind of gotten since, which is wild to me because they also had Kashin Koji and Huyan Zhou really like close together in that regard, and I'm surprised they did that. But Huyan comes in at 148, 148, and then 212 at NP1. She does have Evil Niche though, and so that can get bumped to like 222, 222, and then 319. Wow. Here we go. I left out anti-man numbers because each buster unit would have had those. What do you mean? Why aren't you comparing her clear advantage of anti-man even though she would be in all of the other buster comps and giving them anti-man? It is what it is. You didn't give me the Kashin Koji number, but it's fine. You don't have to give me every single one. It's just like, it's always nice to kind of see where units stand in actuality with some of the numbers. I don't need to like paint you guys the whole picture. I just need to get you in the frame, right? In the right frame of mind. That's all I got to do. So that's kind of why like the idea there is to give you guys some actual numbers rather than to have you guys stare at this sheet and go, huh? I don't understand, Cad. What does it mean? Because like it's the only issue with the sheet is that it's in a vacuum, so it's somewhat difficult to be like, yeah, hey, you know, shooting Doji just flat out deals more damage than Gray. And it's like, well, actually, so that's kind of the problem with a lot of this. Basil Goose. It be what it be, chat. Chat, I have a question for you. And that question is, what banners are available right now? Well, we're definitely not rolling him. We've already rolled her. You know what? Why not? Okay, it wasn't a black grail. We're okay. And that's it. What banners are on JP? Story rolls? No, I'm not that insane, chat. I like to set a good example for chat, so I don't think you guys will ever see me roll story. If I'm rolling story, odds are someone ponied up and like tried to get me to roll story. But normally I will not roll story myself. Because it's I don't want to be a do as I say, not as I do type person. And like, I'm not rolling story, so I don't know why I would advise anyone to roll story. I'm out in 12 hours? I see. Not gonna happen. What's up, Ventas? It is never not a hilarious time if I ever roll a saber banner, a saber assaulter banner. It is always something hilarious. So I told people, I'm like, oh, let me go see what banners are up, and I'm like, I don't really have that much courts to roll, but I'm like, oh, you know, I'm not gonna like get Salter. I was like, it's not gonna happen, chat. And I say that, and it immediately, like the very first spin, just goes Rainbow Orbs. I'm like, oh no. Yeah. Anyways, welcome everybody from Ventas the stream. How's it going, guys? Hope you guys had fun. I already DM'd Leah. Of course you did. Snitches get stitches, Bob. Hi, Leah. Did you know that subbing to CAD guarantees you a happy 2024? That it does. I can't say it guarantees you an SSR, but that might be a duplicitous comment with what's on the screen, so... I also won't say that. But thank you for the 8 months, Ventas. And again, if you guys haven't done so, please go check out my good buddy Ventas. He's an excellent FGO streamer. Absolutely fantastic, and I guess you could say crazy player, since he's the man that does Phantom solos. You wanted Salter? Yeah, I tried. I tried, chat. Here, look, I'll do a multi. I'll do a multi. This is for Salter copies, chat. This is pre-recorded, guys. Don't worry. Dad tried hard for the SR and got the SSR. I mean, it is. NP2 melt incoming. If that happens, chat, at least I have a strong melt. Right? Like, you're not going to hear me complain about that. This is the nature of rolling Saber or Salter for me. It is chaos incarnate. The desire sensor is back at work again. Right, but that's why I'm saying, like, I won't mind an NP2 melt. And I have to say that. I'm legally obligated to say that. I'll be happy with either outcome in 2 years. Understandable. Have a nice day. Cat, is Melt still top tier on JP? Yeah, she's still really good. I mean, I guess, like, the only question is, like, how much you value an alter ego boss killer. But, like, outside of that, yeah, like, Melt's just always been strong. And the fact that they've given her charge and like, infinitely scaling crit is just wild to me. He's just trying to bait the gotcha into a Salter copy? Yeah, 100%. Can you blame me? Dad, I know how this works. I've been gotching for years. I used her for multiple spoiler fights. I see. Did you unspoil them? Look, Chad, it's a safe. I haven't used Melt much since I cleared LB3. I want to find a good chance to use her again eventually. You'll probably get a good chance. Plus Sakura face? Wait, Melt is a Sakura face? I had no idea. Oh man, I was hoping it would at least be Theseus. The more Theseus copies I get, the less I need, like, anything else. Oh, chat. We can always try. You should roll more? I should. But, like, that would require me to roll more. Your luck rebounded hard? I mean, did it? I literally just YOLO'd an SSR. Unless you're meaning, like, rebounded in a good way. In that case, yes. What of the Sakura 5? A Sakura face? Who are the Sakura 5? I'm gonna start streaming FGO like I'm a new streamer. Like I'm a new FGO player. I'm gonna ask chat to explain everything to me. And then I will only point out when chat's wrong. Who's the Sakura? I only know of BB faces. Oh, you right. Yeah, what does BB stand for? Wrong answers only. Look at her for 3 seconds and you'll figure it out. Yeah. Yeah. Big booty? I see. Based bride? I have not heard that one before. That's at least an interesting one. I've never gotten a straight answer for that question, honestly. That's because there isn't one. Barely bearable. Thank God there's 4-star pity, right, chat? Aren't you guys so happy? Aware, yeah. Couldn't be me. Buddy. Hey, we got another 5-star C. I can't believe they edited the game, right? Like, wasn't it wild? Ugh. Nope. Oh wait, no, I need one more quartz. No. Hold on, let me see. Let me see if something exists somewhere, somehow. What better place than now? What better time than here? Fishing mailed. Let's turn them all on. Turn off. Okay, so there is clearly nothing other than embers. Curse you, Lotto, making me actually do things and be smart. See if you can do an upgrade or an interlude. Pretty sure I already did this. Go ahead and buy these, actually. I'm not gonna buy that. That's Craft Essence experience. I will buy that. I will buy that. And that. And that. And not that. And that. And that. And that. And that. That. And that. And that. And that. Just level melt. Oh, you right. And that. And that. Chad, this is just how long it takes me to actually buy the Mana Prism shop out. And then. Okay. Cat wants me to level Melt? I don't have to level Melt.
Yeah.
Gold foes in the MP shop since when? That was a recent addition. Hope you have an awesome rest of the stream. Thank you, Ventos. Appreciate it, man. And again, guys, if you haven't already, go check out Mr. Ventos. Okay, she is foed. Yeah, you know Salter's, like, not gonna be in that last bit, though, right? Like, we're doing all this, but you know not gonna be there. Who am I gold foeing on JP right now? I actually don't know off the top of my head. Oh yeah, there you go. I was in the middle of Maid Altar and I switched to Zerktoria. There's a non-zero chance that's true. You're saying that now, but remember what happened when you said that before Melt? Yeah, but like, it can't happen twice, chat. Okay. The chat, you didn't believe me. There may be a, like, 10 that snuck by me in here somewhere. But this should be all 11s at the lowest. Go to about 700. Because we get lucky procs, we won't need it. Gotcha's a cruel mistress, always has been. There you go, we got that suck. Alright, chat, which ascension form of Melt? All is a cop-out. Pick a side, Leah. Always use third myself. To me, it's like between first and third. I'm not really sure, and I go back and forth. I go back and forth. Like, if you put a gun to my head, it's probably first, but like... Oh, the nice number. Wedding dress is just a bit much for me. I don't mind the wedding dress so much as, like, it's just kind of poofy. But to be fair, like, so is all the other ascensions. It's just, like, more pronounced in this form. Look at all those rank ups you can do. What rank ups? I don't understand. Belt has rank ups? So you're saying that she was a bad unit that had to be improved? I can't believe you would say that, Leah. That ass. But yes, we can no longer show that on Twitch. Uh-oh. Okay, so we are just shy. Why not buy it? Do you have more uses for MPs? Yes. Yeah, like any use of an MP is better than buying a command code remover. Like, using my MP for literally anything else than something that is utterly useless is a better use. What would you use your NP? Just crit 5 head? Well, but Leah, I'm going up against Lancers. Crit hard. That's wild. Next, you're gonna tell me to pop a Saint Quartz. Who do you think the worst SSR is at the moment? It's difficult. I think it's pretty difficult to, like, sit down and say this one unit is objectively the worst, because it really, like, boils down to the situations that they can be used in. I think the worst unit is, objectively speaking, the SSR that can be used the least. Like, they don't have a good niche, and even within that niche, they are just, like, not, right? Like, if that makes any sense. Like they're not able to really be used very well because everybody else is better than them at what they do. So it's like, it's kind of difficult. Probably Vlad? No, Vlad's actually, like, really good. Wait, so did that give me quartz at some point, chat? Did I just, like, willfully ignore it? I did. I willfully ignored it. Alright, here we go. Once more, into the breach! Have at thee! Shit. Be elegant. Oh my god. Oh. Oh. No, that's an insult. I would not have bought the pack. I would not have bought the pack. But I refuse to let it end on double Tokyomi. I refuse, chat. Hello, Tamamo Cat. I don't like to spend on JP also, Cad. Yeah. The game was literally taunting me, chat. You don't understand. That was a, like, personally directed insult. I took offense to that. A declaration of war? Indeed. Indeed. You guys will at least get the pack. You're truly a distinguished gentleman. Yeah, perhaps. The salt gotcha, I'm familiar. Is Tokiomi your most hated character? No, just that C. Like, that's the upgraded version of Be Elegant. Like, and Be Elegant is a very, like, numerous spook C during all of my bad rolls. So that's why, like, I absolutely took that as an insult. That was FGO, like, being like, F you. Oh, see, like, Ryu, that would have to go, like, at the end of a long list of those incidences. I would just give up rolling for that day. I understand. I'm just not like normal people. At least it wasn't a pair of Shinjis. I mean, it is what it is. I take it like, at that point, it's just not my day. But at least it wasn't an insult. Give him the saber salter. No, the salt. Yeah. A smart man would do that. That's true. Maybe is a good sign, perhaps. But right now I'm being taunted by Saber Gilderay. Also known as Gilderay Lily. Cat's rolling for black grails, it's fine. Yeah, that's the easy way to think about it. I mean, shit chat, two more of the Berserker black grails will actually get me what I need. 2 more. It'll just get it for me for, like, anyone not those people. But I get the feeling after that spook, these are all minerals. But I'm flushing the luck. Rolling for Theseus coins? I wish. There's gonna be at least another melt. I don't know about that. Normally I can only roll Salter if she's on story. I think the only other times I've managed to roll Salter were like when she had a devoted raid up with Artoria. I just had to SR ticket mine. I used my SR ticket to get MP2 over. This would make MP3 if she shows up. Wrote a bunch for her, but she just didn't come. Yeah, I mean, it is what it is, chat. I'm perfectly okay with not getting a Salter in this pack. But I refuse to allow double Tokiomi to be the last things I see. I'm looking forward to deciding the next SR ticket. And the problem it... Anyways, the problem is basically they haven't given us very many SR tickets like of recent years. We used to get them every single year, but can I finish the outline? Okay, I'll come grade your work. Somehow Tokiomi returned, yes. Then Prophet destroyed it? Why would Prophet do such a thing? Are you really sure, Cad? Yes. I saw it. Prophet did destroy it. Did you, though? That's wild, because, like, nobody in VIP is streaming, so how did you see it? There's no SR pity yet, right? I wish. That would be nice if there were. But chat, like, go ahead, tell me, what is the amount of, like, pity that you think would be good for a 4-star? And I'll tell you why you're wrong. Depends on the SR. No, it doesn't. Yeah, it'd definitely be more than 100. Did we get that Earth 3-star seat? I don't know, actually. It's been around for some time now. I want to say it came out last year, but I don't remember when. Because I've certainly seen my fill of it. $300, half of normal pity, but normal pity is 900. I see your logic. It's just your math that I question. But like, this is the reason why I say it is because, like, I assume for most people the idea of what an SR pity would be rather low, and they would look at it as, well, it's pity, so we're gonna set it high. That's why I say that. Math is not my strong suit. We play a gotcha game, Cad. Math is not our best subject. That's a good point. More of a history man? Well, listen. What you need to do is you need to learn the history of numbers. And then you'll know math. Probably set it 3 times the average SR expectation. Yeah, I mean, I couldn't assign a value to it. I think that's a difficult subject. But, you know, certainly I understand people's desire to have it. Send SRs to the USO shop and set them to 1. Easy and cheap. Yeah, I think the biggest issue would be, like, what are the odds of somebody actually, like, getting them? At least we're getting a ton of the 5-star C. But, like, I think for even your average free-to-player, it's very difficult for them to ever see a USO. Like, I'm sure we have day 1 free-to-play players that just don't have it. Here you go, chat. It is Dedge. You now get no Salter. It was the minnest of packs. Didn't need enough burgers? Yeah. SR rate up, by the way? What's that? Not enough Burger King song? Well, at least we got Tokiomi's daughter. Uber mid. My JP doesn't have a USO, so. William, tell me to stop. There you go, chat. I don't have enough for another multi, so I won't do it. But it be what it be. Can Salter loop on MP3? Salter can loop on MP1. The biggest issue for Salter is if you want to do her actually, like... If you want to do her actual, like, good comp, you definitely need to, like... The word I'm looking for. You definitely need to like get enough coins to have her mana loading unlocked, and that's difficult to do at NP1. It can be done, it's just difficult to do. Like you need to have her really high bond. Alter looping requires math knowledge or familiarity knowledge. Remember that creepy old guy that danced during those Six Flags commercials? I'm pretty sure that was just a dude wearing like a mask. Like, I don't even think he was actually old. Because I know who you're talking about. He's not creepy. I don't know, chat. He feels kind of creepy. But NA and JP have no USOs. Been playing on NA since launch and JP close to launch. I mean, I could double check. I don't actually know. Yeah, see chat. Welcome to my issue. We have a little too many of those. Yeah. I don't have a USO, because it would be somewhere in there. This is the content that I'm here for. What is this? This is the fourth currency from the Lotto. And basically, this is what I'm going to be converting into 500,000 QP a pop. So that is how much QP I got to spend tomorrow. And actually, I say that, like, Melt will have helped with that. Because I can just actually work on Melt skills. Best time of the month? Hello, Zephyr. He's as regular as my period. I'm just kidding. I still have 8 on JP. Oh, Zoolander? I find it funny that you say that, and then Zephalander showed up. Gotta finish Melt skills. I still only have her at 666. Yeah, I mean, I can reasonably do that. Like, it's not gonna be that big of a deal. Like, I should be able to at least, like, get her at least to 7s, because she's an alter ego. So, like, alter egos are functionally free, chat, until that point. I just want to know why Leah hates me. Because she told me I would at least get NP2 Melt, and clearly she took that away. Is it time? Yes, it can be time. We can call it quits on FGO for the night. And we can switch over for some easy, breezy, beautiful clubbing. Oh fuck, here he comes. Here I come. Just do blue steel CAD? Oh, you mean like there you go. CAD steel? Yes. Why is this not popping? Okay, there we go. Chat, did I hear right? Are we getting the NVIDIA like 5000 series revealed in a couple days? Like, is that actually a thing? Because that's wild. I feel like the 4000 series wasn't out that long. Bang. 4000 series was what, 4 years ago? I don't know. It feels like it wasn't. Yeah, maybe it's the COVID like version, and that's why it feels like it hasn't been out that long. Oh god, why were the trees purple, chat? Anyways, welcome to Conan. I've been told that the extremities of our castle were destroyed. So, like, if you guys were wondering, like, what this is meant to be a castle, and this is, like, just the base foundations of it. And we've kind of started building, like, up in the main keep up here. I remember when Zephyr used to play with us. That was wild. So, okay, so I see what Bob did. My only point, Bob, is like, you should definitely... I was gonna say, you should definitely make, like, some sort of, like, end thingamajig here. Okay, so clearly Bob's getting all, like, spicy with his stuff. And then Bob started trying to make, like, something. Okay, but Bob, like, where's our front gate gonna be? Is it gonna be, like here? Because, like, the actual path is, like, here. All of it is intentional, wherever you want it to be. Yeah, I guess that would, like, round out your Thunderdome if we did that. You should make moat castles. Castles need a moat. So there is, like, drawbridges, which is really cool. Yeah, look, we have an unconscious Lutzvane, aka Steve. We have slightly disgruntled Bjorn. He's slightly disgruntled. Anyways, we also have our dudes. Every block is intentional, it sucked. Well, like... I mean, I hear you say that, Bob, but I feel like you could bring the wall in, like, diagonally here, couldn't you? Like, wouldn't that be a thing? And then it would look like it attached better than whatever the fuck this is? No? Wouldn't merge? I feel like your math was off. I feel like you could do it. Oh, I can't do it again. Have fun fixing it then? No. No, I trust that Bob is correct here. But anyways, Chad, I think today we're going to make ourselves a better saddle. Why? Because I can. Stop questioning me. We don't need reasons for doing what we're doing, chat. I think it's under armors. Huh. Requires expert saddle maker. Okay, so basically we can't until we hit 60. We're still a couple of decent levels off, so I may as well make myself the journeyman saddle. Yeah, like I said, you can mount camel, rhino, warhorse, and then some sort of like half horse, half dog thing. Yeah, when is Zephyr coming in? I don't know. You just have to harass Zephyr. Zephyr likes to feel wanted. Make him feel wanted. You know, lie to him. Where was I going to be? Oh, yeah, saddle maker. So anyways. This was the medium saddle. Looks like I need thick leather, steel bars, and some twine. We did get some new smelters, Bob. I don't know if Prophet told you that. Oh, wait, this doesn't have... Huh? Nani? We ran out of coal? Okay, a ton of hardened steel and iron, but no steel. Yeah, we're actually like weirdly short on steel because we've like totally jumped that that requirement. We're gonna put all the ironstone over here. This is kind of how smelting works. It's really, honestly, nice. Managing the forge is not my problem anymore, I see. What's up, Emperor? How's it going? We got John the Tinkerer. Apparently, John the Tinkerer is a nice smelter. Prophet was nice enough to share one of his 2 John the Tinkerers with us. Gonna go ahead and throw John in here just so you guys can see the rate of conversion there. Really fast now with a named one. Let's steal some of that steel fire. We're basically gonna get him hammered away. In the interim, I know I needed thick leather. If only I had thick leather, chat. Not to be confused with non-thick leather. The only 2 variants that exist. I probably need some twine, but I should... Yeah, I was going to say, there should be a shit ton of twine on the armorer's bench. Okay. John's already spit firing these things out. So we only need 68. We already have 31. Shouldn't take that long, but it will take probably a couple minutes here. Do I have anything steel that I can, like, just absolutely destroy here? Wonder if Yamatai stuff's considered to be that. We're gonna find out. A steel repair hammer. I would like to keep that just in case. I might need a horse soon. Gonna bring the mats over yonder. Go for it. As long as you got the mats. Okay. So it looks like we've converted all the hardened brick here, which is good. Means Bob's got some more mats. But it looks like we actually need more brick. While I wait on that, I'm gonna go get some more stone. Always raining here in the north, chat. Always. I have a really fast and an efficient, like, gathering perk, so, like, you guys can see just how quickly it can go by. I'm basically able to, like, rapid fire nodes. Oops. Okay, almost full, so we'll run back. Who requested this? I think it's the, I think it's one of the ones that we watched. Yeah, it's Conan the Musical. Okay, so we already got 21 more. It's about 10 more, I think. About 20 more. 68. There may be some stuff. Most of this is hardened steel. This is such a great rendition. You ever play any League? Yes, actually. I'm much more recently into League, though. I'm not like a veteran player or anything like that. I mostly play support, because that is how I was raised to play. John, I need you to tinker faster, you asshole. I feel like these are the same dude. They at least look like it. There we go. We got the nice number, chat. Okay, so basically that's gonna craft me a medium saddle. I believe the better saddle just gives your horse more, like, endurance, more ability to sprint. But yeah, chat, you can monkey bar in the game. Like, I can absolutely, like, hang from the ceilings and such. It's sometimes useful. But only if you can manage to pull it off. There you go, chat. We can do the snake dance. Now we've got the saddle. Dun Stallion's gonna be a little bit better. A little bit betterer. As he has a more appropriate saddle. I've been meaning to do that for a while. You go, chat. The next horse is saddled. No reason in wasting a saddle. Just go put it on another horse. That way there's like always another horse available if someone needs it. I think it makes them slightly faster though too. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Okay, game. Okay, game. There we go. Yeah, we're gonna have to make a side gate. we're gonna have to. Yeah, so he already, I can already tell, like, he has basically double the amount of stamina that he did before, so that's good. I can't wait to get to the final version. Can come climb up here.
I can see you, Exile.
Oh, missed. Oh god, what the hell was that? Okay, got him. He didge. We're gonna smack him.
York will have your soul.
Ooh, okay. So I was getting shot at by that dude. We're gonna bandage up. He won't come near. Archers are always little pussies like this. But did Arthur came a lot? Yes. Get uppercut. Got him. Okay, that's actually useful. Bonk him. So what I'm doing, chat, is I'm basically like grinding religion. And you'll see why. There is a reason to do it. Well, there's more meat here if we needed it, but we're already like overflowing on the amount of food that we have. Hardened steel short sword? I think I've seen that before. Hardened steel skinning knife. Perfected hardened steel short sword. What the heck? The vitality war paint. God, that is ugly. But the war paints basically like give you like +1 of a stat, if I remember correctly. So it's like there's no reason not to wear them if you find them, but it be what it be. Yeah. Got a random question, but in FGO, is buying Dante's Tower event worth it? Yes, it is. It's one of the better uses of your rare prisms if you're gonna buy an event. Obviously, if you buy like the other main interludes, you'll get a welfare from that can be good. But the Dante's Tower event's always worth from the stance that like you will kind of refund your investment. You'll end up getting a crystallized lore from it, but you'll also get some like free resources. So it's usually good. And it will get refunded for you. Like even if it costs you something now. I can't put it on top of anything. And put it like annoyingly in the way of things. Oh wait, this thing turns on? Oh my god, it turns on. I didn't even realize. Oops. Yeah, you get refunded. Like, you'll never lose it. So you're good in that regard. Oh, I did want Lydia. Chat. If we're going clubbing, we need Lydia. Lydia, where are you? Lydia, where are you? Oh no! Alright, who stole Lydia? Okay, Lydia is somewhere. This explains why I didn't leave with Lydia last time. How dare you? How dare you? Who did this? Music doesn't seem to match the game. Yeah, I can mute song request. You guys don't want Chumbawamba? Oh, I don't want to launch myself. Go.
Death to the Outlander!
Ooh, ow. See, this is... Sometimes I don't like the target lock. Oh my god, game. Thank you. God, Lydia. Lydia, this is why we can't have nice things. Like, now I gotta, like, kill him while he's unconscious. Yeah, this is still Lydia 9, by the way. I do wanna state that like Lydia 9 has been a very good series of Lydia. Like the 9th of her name. Now normally, chat, I don't do this, but Lydia is equipped with a truncheon so that she doesn't kill anyone. So she ends up knocking people unconscious, which makes them very easy to kill. But it does make me have to stab the ground like that, which is somewhat annoying. And then I just bonk them over the head, and I get that lingering essence. And that lingering essence is what's, like, used in my religion. Go with a two-hander for now. Oh? Oh, I see somebody's already gone bonky. Oh, no. Oh, no, Prophet. Oh, no. Prophet died a horrific death. And another horrific death. Hey, why is that Morgan Le Fay 3? Oh, that's a Smelter 3. Club them, Lydia! Club them! It might not be Lydia's fault that you're on the 9th Lydia. No, it is. No. You don't understand. It is. It's definitely Lydia's fault. Basically, half the time it was Lydia, like, aggroing too many things. That, like, she rushed in ahead of me. The other half the time, it was like I was running from something and Lydia refused to detach no matter how many times I spam ordered her to, like, leave the thing alone. And then she would be like, no, I want to get gang banged. And, well, she did. Anyways, chat, we're just going to drag the smelter behind me. Bob doesn't even say thanks for getting him good smelters. SMH. Smelters are what make Camelot possible. They're doing their part. I will never get tired of looking behind me and, like, seeing the ragdoll. It is 10 out of 10 great. Every stinking time. Oh, he's already a smelter 3. You're a smelter 2. And now you're a smelter 3. Smelt faster, asshole! Okay, and then I'm gonna take this. And I'm gonna move this over here. And that too. But Bob didn't even take the bone meal out of the grinder. I knew it! I knew it! SMH! You need to build a series of beacons across the countryside and you can light them all and shout the beacons are lit. I mean, that's definitely something that can be done in Conan. I mean, you could see, like, you could see light sources usually from pretty far away. Okay, where's the stupid stinky con poster that Bob keeps talking to me about? Look, Bob, are you happy? I threw it in. And then I drank from the refreshing waters of Mitra. Because my fountain for my religion is also a well. Feels good, man. And then I threw in more lingering essence. And I said, make me ambrosia. Which is like a food. Ambrosia also gives me Mitra's blessing, which is really nice. It basically increases my strength weapon damage. Oh my god, come on. I was gonna say, I know you can get over that. Very, like, scenic and, like, honestly, like, ASMR game. Like, you could just sit in base and, like, listen to the sounds of your crafters, like, beating on things. And it's just, like, I don't know, it just, like, takes you back in time. You're like, ah, the good old days. Where someone worked for me. No, I'm just kidding. Where, like, you know, you worked with your hands and, like, shit happened. Did anyone else see that corpse just fall? This is wild. I need some Bardify music in Conan. There is, like, music playing to a degree. Oh, damn, that, Don't you beat my horse! Take that, Taskmaster. And then get beaten. Okay.
Who's there?
Who's there? Me. Nope, missed me with that shit. Okay, I can bleed with this.
Watch out!
He dead. Oh damn, that's got like some good forward firepower. Yeah, you gonna learn, Ash? Don't harvest them all the way, because you're gonna end up with so many goddamn human parts it ain't funny. Wait, why am I doing this the hard way? There we go. Nice little murder stroke there. Whoa, whoa, whoa! Yeah! Got her. Ow. Dude, just die. Like, holy shit. That guy, like, refused to go down. He would not take the last hit that would kill him. Bob is never happy. I know. I know. I'm used to it at this point. I've learned to accept Bob for who he is. My brother in Christ, you are denying me my flesh. Oh, he not dead. A leather satchel. Is there anything actually useful in here? I'll take the longsword. I've just been giving it to thralls. Look at this man. He just dropping human body parts. Dun Stallion laughed. May include yelling. Man hammering on metal. Nice. Sounds awesome. Ow, what? Dude, you like 180'd. Against the Fighter 3, I do not trust myself. Gonna drink that aloe. Okay. Oh, he unconscious. Don't worry, I got you, Ash. Oh, I'm gonna get stuck. Okay, that actually counted.
Enemies approaching.
Dude, I like when I almost died because the companions all ran in behind me. Oops, missed. There we go, now he's dead. This also levels me up. You can see my experience bar running across the top up there. Wait, where's the other body? I don't even see the other body. What's up, Czar? Oh, whoops. I was not in range. Got her. Got him. See, chat, it is a very gory, gruesome game. It's awesome. It is brutally Conan. It is Conanly brutal.
Meet again. In Valhalla.
You ain't meeting anyone in Valhalla. Okay. Yeah, feel free to take her, Ash. I'm fine. Hey, who are you? It's the Goat Man. Dude, imagine, like, this is just, like, your town, and one day people show up with swords, and they just start, like, two-manning your entire village. And then, like, they just start killing people. And then, like, every once in a while, they attach a chain to someone and just drag them off into the distance. And that is Conan. Okay. I will take that. I will bonk that. And I will bonk that. Oh, he's not dead. Okay, now he did. Guardian torso. Bam, bam. Don't mind me just eating from the food in that box. Hey, 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 hey. Ow. Okay, so these might be, like, alchemists that are good, so just keep an eye out. This is where the alchemists always are. The 1 and a 1. How did... Bro, you, like, ran past me illogically and then tried to, like, noodle your way back. Had about enough of that shit. I like that it just actually decapitates them. I don't know why. I should not be like it's gruesome. I shouldn't be like somebody that you know laughs at that, but it's also like it's funny to me in a weird way. I would certainly not like laugh at an actual beheading, but like this one, I mean it is what it is. Oh, he dead? No, he unconscious.
Again.
You ain't going nowhere. You gotta die with your sword in your hand to be Valhalla.
Stop skulking like a Samorian thief.
After getting fucked on the Koyan multi, or it happens. I just spent a pack on JP for Salter and got like, ironically enough, I got nothing out of the pack. I got a melt spook, like just off of a single course, but like then I actually bought a pack and got nothing from it. So it's like, yeah, I expect that. I have no right to complain. I got the spook, so. But it does happen. Sometimes the game just be brutal. Almost like in Conan. You promised me flesh. Hey! He's dead. He's dead. That's an armor 3 if you want it, Ash. I don't know if you need it. Man, she want my booty hole. I was gonna say, worst case, if you don't want it, I'll take it as a backup. Did I beat him? Yeah, okay, there we go. God, it's so dark suddenly. I'm just letting Lydia club them, because, yeah, that carpenter, he's got a two-hander, he's kind of dangerous.
So I can carve it on your pyre. Death to the outlander.
Gonna try to bandage in here. And Lydia effectively solos. Yeah, this version of Lydia has lasted long enough to get some decent levels. Okay, so everyone's unconscious now. Are any of you actually worth? Oh my god, what? Ash, did you, like, drop a huge-ass loot bag, or is that, like, Prophet's corpse? All of our human flesh? I see. You did, in fact, promise me flesh.
Has come.
Who's there?
Okay, 2 for 1. Not bad. Thank you, both of you, for, like, standing in my way. I appreciate that. Dirty work, chat, but somebody's got to kill the unconscious bodies. There we go. fog? Yeah, man. Gotta be careful of that fog. Someone is coming to kill me. Hit me. There we go. Oh boy. Oh, I need you off the wolf. Ugh. That was close. There was no reason that I should have died there, but I went into that fight low, and we pulled extra enemies. And that's usually how you die in Conan. It's not one-on-one fights. Most of the time, if that starts, like, going south, you can run away from it. But when you pull too many enemies, you dead. you dead, chat. Oh, Lydia is nearly dead because Lydia doesn't have food. That's not good. So yeah, I'm glad I spotted that because that's absolutely a sign that I need to get the hell out of here. Don't you scream at me. You're unconscious. Ew. Oh, that just sounded gross. That wasn't you. Wait there, I can sustain you now. It's all good. It's all good. I will go kill this mofo, though. I am actually pretty close to leveling up. And Lydia unconscioused him before I could even get a second hit in. Wow! Some of their yells are pretty hilarious to me.
Huh?
Damn, girl, you stat and you unconscious. I don't know why they gurgling so much right now. Oh my god, dude. What game is this? This is Conan Exiles. It's actually really fun. It's a survival game. Oh, I'm gonna need to get off to get that dude. There are wolves down here. Where did he go? He like fall through the ground? Yeah, looks like it. Looks neat. It is. It's pretty fun. It has a lot of DLC for the game, but don't worry about that because like if you're playing with friends, anyone that has the DLC, like it's mostly just cosmetics. It's like people can craft the items for you. Okay, so you're just going straight for Lydia now, I see. I am literally just trying to, like, get that last kill for the level, which will probably be these two up here. Got him. There you go. Leveled up. You can see I'm like covered in blood at this point. Again, the war paint just looks weird. It looks like I got like gacked or something. Where'd the other person go? Yeah, bears are always worth because they have some pretty good packs that they carry around. So for instance, these things, the supply materials, they can have like really good drops on them. Yeah, so that should get me up to whatever level I'm at. I think I'm at like 54 or something. Yeah, 54. Ooh. Was it 54 or was it 56 that I got armor at? I think it's 56, but... yeah, 56. I feel like there's something else than at 54, but I don't remember what it is. It would just be what it be. Basically purely medieval rust. Yeah, like it's difficult to say like what survival is so close to Conan because a lot of the survival games share like a lot of the same aspects and such. The thing is that I'll say, and I know not everyone will agree with me on this, but I feel like as far as the mechanics go in Conan, I feel like Conan just kind of does it best. It like makes the most sense how it works. I will take these. But as far as the survival aspect goes, the higher the level you get, the easier it is to survive. And the more it becomes in Conan, at least, about, like, combat. And high level combat in Conan is very much a stat check and a skill check. If you're good or you're playing with friends, you're probably fine. If you're not, you will struggle and you will die. At least until, like, you get to a certain level of, like, preparedness and skill. My god. Got a ton of these things. Got a dead sorcerer's map and 13 notes. We got a ton of human flesh, so what do you do with human flesh, chat? Well, you can either cook it and eat it, which is weird, or you can put it in the fluid press and get blood. I don't make the rules, chat. It's a thing. Okay? It's a thing. All you need to know. I take the old gear that I looted from there and basically bash it. Okay, I got branches and wood. Just throw both of those on the carpentry bench. God, that still wasn't all the human stuff. Looks like I got a horn, so I'm gonna throw that on the armorsmith bench, since that's usually used to make high-level helmets. Okay, then we're gonna throw in all of my coins. A lot of it ends up like inventory management type stuff too. Just kind of is what it is. But as long as you have like a system and you know where stuff goes, you're usually fine. Yeah, see, now I think I have all the parts necessary to build a golem, but, like, it just doesn't matter. I don't think we have the technology yet. We don't have the power. Dina, you now have a black ice longsword, because you can. What parts do you need? No, I think I have everything. At least for now. Oh, whoops. I need to, like, put my horse back. He's just in the way. He's just chilling. So I keep looting Vanir heavy stuff just to throw on some of the thralls that we've captured. Because eventually you can just build them into a decent armor set without having to, like, actually work on anything. It's kind of like the lazy way of doing it. And I'm all for lazy. I'm all for lazy in a game that makes you get, like, thousands of things. La da 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 la da 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 da. I like to light up the place really well at night, just to make sure there's no, like, issues with lighting ever. You can see everything, see everywhere. So, like, if I ever see torches, I usually, like, especially if they're, like, pre-built ones, I pick them up and just bring them back to base. Because, again, laziness. I don't want to have to craft it. And that is the time. He steals 2 days worth of my farming to upgrade his castle walls. Yes, because that was the intended use of the resources, and he knows that. Anyways, yeah, let me see who all's on tonight. I'm gonna send you guys somewhere. Da-da, da-da-da, da-da-da-da-da. I'm not really seeing much of anything, chat. So, we'll probably go ahead and end tonight. And I will see you guys for the next one. Again, thank you guys for watching. Tomorrow will be Hephaestion. So I hope you guys are ready for that one. And I will see you guys then. So have a good evening. And again, if you guys are going to roll, may the courts be